Hey, welcome to the Working Class Bowhunter podcast. Hey, quick disclaimer. You either are just listening through all our episodes, God bless you, or you saw Whitetail adrenaline on this episode and said, I'm going to give that a shot. This is the pre-warning. This was a post Nebraska Deer and Game Expo podcast at the Airbnb.
Yep.
We had drank all day at the show.
Mm-hmm.
We drank pretty heavily at the Airbnb, and we all sat down and recorded. So this is, you might get some tips and tactics here and there, but it's very sporadic, very off track, and we tried to keep it on course at first, and then we kind of just said, well, screw it. Let's just relax, not worry about like facilitating the show, and kind of let it go all over. We're all slurring. We're all talking over each other. Don't have your kids in the car if you're listening to this one.
A lot of good stories, a lot of like hunt camp style bullshit. And
that's exactly what it is.
It is.
That's exactly what it is. But it was a lot of fun.
It was a blast.
That was a blast.
And we hope that at least you just laugh a little if you don't get anything out of it. Hope you just enjoy it and kind of understand what our mindset is. And this is one of those vacation type podcasts for us where it's just like we just let it ride, and what it is what it was, or whatever those kids say now. No cap is what I heard some kids say one time. So that's your pre-warning. We hope you enjoy it. We got a veteran shout out, but let's save it for a few minutes here.
Okay.
The podcast is brought to you by HHA Sports. They have a new line of stabilizers coming out, which is awesome. You can customize your whole setup. They have an adjustable one out, which is pretty awesome.
I can't believe I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I don't know if I have either. I'm pretty excited.
I can't believe no one's done that yet.
We have Scott Bakken will be in studio soon to talk about that.
Yep.
And kind of see what HHA's got going on for 2021. Also, Scent Crusher. Super proud to be partners with Scent Crusher. We've been a long-time partner along with HHA. My number one guy I've talked about is the roller bag, and I'm proud of that, man.
I love it. Love the roller bag.
What's your favorite, Mr. Chandler?
That's where I'm at too. I got the roller bag. It's awesome.
Eric?
Just a regular bag.
Regular bag.
Yep.
They're all good, man.
They're all good.
The nice thing about the regular bag is it fits. You can wear it like a backpack.
Yep, that's what I love about it. So you can just throw it on,
It's
just like a backpack, and
even
carry it around.
Like if you're just like trade showing, you just throw your regular clothes in there.
It's awesome.
You don't have to worry about.
I mean, they don't make any bad products. I use every single one.
Yeah, it's just the standout
That's my
ones. You know?
that's my go-to. Though,
Room clean is like always battling in there for that top spot for me as far as one of their my favorite products of theirs. Also, Loophole Optics, Thermoset, Victory Archery, Gator Outdoors, Elite Archery, Rogue Ridge e-bikes, and the Grind turkey decoys, calls, and accessories. Man, I'm hoping to. How cool would it be to slip in with one of the Rogue Ridge bikes and kill a bird?
Ooh,
That's getting cocky. I like that.
Wouldn't that be cool?
that would be cool.
I'm just waiting for him to come out with a tandem e-bike, so you and your buddy can ride it together.
Dual motor.
That's genius.
That would be really cool.
sick?
No, these things are sweet. They have 3 different options. They have a 750, 1000, and they have a 750 that, I think it's a 750, that folds.
Yep. Easy storage.
I saw a funny video today, ironically, because I was in my head, I'm thinking about all the shit I'm going to try on it. Brandon Polinick, a buddy we hunted with in Oregon with Loophole, he has the folding one. He's on like a mountain bike track with like the wooden berms, and he comes in hot on the wood berm. He's got like a GoPro footage, and he slips his top wheel over the top of the berm and just eats shit on the berm. I'm like, that's awesome. He gets back up and he got up fine. It looked like a hard fall, but I got that coming because I'm going to do stuff that you shouldn't do on them.
Right.
But that's part of the fun.
Put them to the test.
We're going to test them out. We're really looking forward to that partnership and seeing what happens with that. Big time code WCB 2021. I keep saying the old code 2020. You guys are going to be putting out some supplemental feed in Iowa.
Yep.
I will be.
The pallet will be here as we're recording this tomorrow. So it's coming in.
So you guys are you going to run trail cams, see who's shed and who hasn't and all that?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to start putting it out right away.
Have you guys ever found sheds over your big time yet?
I have not. But I'm waiting for that day. That'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
sweet.
I wish we could. We need it really bad right now. We had a bad ice storm come in like 3 weeks ago, and these deer are just dropping hard. They're stressing. They need some food right now, and Illinois just sucks.
Well, and then we got more rain on top of that ice storm with slush and more snow.
They're having a hard time getting to the food.
I mean, it's not as good when it comes to like getting food in their bellies, but you know, we have the food in their bellies when they need it, like right now. But we get to do the food plot blends. They have the Clover Select, the Buck Brunch. They have all sorts of different blends. They have, I mean, really about everything you want nowadays.
Yep.
So pretty awesome. Big Time's killing it. And by the way, that code works for merch and supplemental feed and everything like that. So everything on the store. Also, Old Barn Taxidermy. I should be getting my bear back quick. I'm
Should be
excited
getting
for that.
my meat from my buck too back here soon.
Ooh, the meat processing through Old Barn is exquisite.
They got it down already.
It's exquisite.
Fire.
You guys enjoying it?
Oh yeah,
I know you guys got a bunch of pages.
dude, the honey barbecue sticks, man.
It's amazing.
Don't pass up on them.
They're good.
They're real nice.
Real nice.
Real nice. Old Barn's the shit. I love that company. I love like it's good when the people there are just as good as like what they do.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, if you're a waterfowl hunter, a turkey hunter, a big game hunter, a western game hunter, they do it all.
They do it all.
So they got your back. And they do predators, and they're good at predators. And not a lot of taxidermists are good at doing predators. Just a certain look in the eyes. That
Right? It's just,
not a lot.
it throws you off.
Well, that's the thing with bears, you know. Sam Gaylord, the owner of Old Barn, he's like the bear guy. He's like top 3, top 5 guys, bear guys in the country, maybe the world for black bears, you know. And I'm just thankful that that's our guy.
Yeah.
Because I'm excited to do like that bear hunt. We're going back again to Double Diamond Outfitters in Wyoming this spring. Me and Eric are going, and I think Clint's going, and got basically 2.5 weeks of listeners going too, which is awesome. But with that bear mount, I was always worried because bear mounts kind of turn me off when I look at them. I'm always like, ugh, they don't look nearly as cool as like you see the bear on TV or see the bear in person. But Sam's mounts aren't that way. Like you go and you see them and you're like, wow, that's beautiful. It's a majestic. It doesn't look like a dog.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I saw while we're on the taxidermy thing here before we dive in the episode, I thought this was funny. Today on Facebook, I don't know what group it was in. It's like the question was, what is the acceptable turnaround time for a taxidermist? And dude, the comments, that photos people were throwing in, 4 months, and it was showing like pictures of their deer, and oh my god, it's like
Was it crazy?
That dude posted that photo to brag about it only taking 4 months to get his mount back, and it just looks. It's atrocious, man.
Like a mount from 1910.
Oh, dude, it's
Got the staples on the back.
oh man, like paper mache. It's all yellow already.
Yeah, if you're going to get them back that fast, you better be good at doing it. Like I know local guys that can do it in less than a month. I've got several deer back in less than 4 weeks, and they held up. They've been in my man cave for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, and they still look good. But
Yeah.
if you're going to turn them around that fast, you better have your shit dialed in.
Well, I think a lot of people think for a year and a half, that's insane. Well, it's like the workload. They have clientele because they are good.
Yeah, if you're
Right,
good,
yeah.
if you're going to have a lot of people there, you're going to have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, and that's fine. Wait, it's like a tattoo.
Right.
I mean, you're going to spend more. I have mounts that I'm talking from experience. I have mounts from a local guy here in the Quad Cities, and like they're okay. But then I get like a Mark Reif mount. I get some Old Barn taxidermy mounts
They
next
just
to them.
stand out.
And I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. Like these all look like shit compared to these high-end mounts.
right.
So one of my biggest deer is mounted that way, and it looks terrible. And Sam and Julian at Old Barn, they're going to take it. They're going to soak the whole thing and try and remount it for me. If not, I'm going to get a new cape, and they're going to do it upright for me.
Yep.
But, you know, it's like I look at all these deer, and that one deer, I'm like, I find myself like apologizing to people coming on. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that taken care of.
Once you get one good mount done and you put him up with all the rest of them,
Yep.
it's kind of like shit.
That's what I was
I
gonna
messed
say, a
up.
lot of people don't realize it until they get that one really nice mount and they get it up on the wall.
It's kind of comical. It's like a bad tattoo. Like Chandler, and I'm not
like an 8-ball.
It's like your 8-ball tattoo. Like it's so bad that it becomes like comedy, and then it's awesome.
It's like you almost want to leave it.
You can't get rid of it. You can't cover it up.
Right.
I mean, it's so bad, it's good.
right, but you get a really awesome 8-ball tattoo next to that one, then you're like, ooh,
Oh, man.
ooh, it's a tough gig.
Maybe I'll
cover that
do
one
a really good one on the other arm.
There you go. Just get the cue.
Just
No,
a circle.
You should get them all in the 8-ball in the middle, you know, with the triangle.
The shitty 8-ball in the
But
center.
all the rest of them look like an actual
All
fucking
nice,
bull
nice
wall.
shine on.
I got to start working out. I got to build the guns up.
You play 9-ball maybe.
Yeah.
It's like,
half a rack.
who's breaking? Austin's like, That'd be me.
It's fucked up.
Is that gay? Is that gay?
This queer. All right, moving on to more serious things. Do you have a veteran shout out, Doug?
I do. This veteran shout out is brought to you by HHA USA, Uniting Service Members in Archery.
HHAUSA.org.
.org if you want to check them out. They got schedules up hopefully here soon for 2021.
It is up. Let me. I thought it was up. Let me see.
When I checked, it was 2020.
Oh, this is 2021.
There it is.
They're coming up. Well, hell, May 15th and 16th. Tomaha Sportsman Alliance, Warrens, Wisconsin. They're all Wisconsin. We will probably be at the ones, I would imagine, August 7th and 8th. They have one. They have one August 21st and 22nd, Blackhawk Archers in Custer, Wisconsin. We'll probably make one of those later summer ones, I would imagine. We'll lock that down and let you guys know. But 3D, novelty shoots, two-man scrambles, silent auctions, all for a good cause. If you are interested, workingclassbowhunter.com/veteran shoutout has all the information there. Sorry,
this veteran, you're good. This veteran shout out was submitted by Randy Moulton, and the veteran is Jonathan. God, I don't want to mess his name up. Caruso.
Caruso, there you go.
He was in the Marines. It says, Jonathan retired last year as a master sergeant from the U.S. Marines. After serving this country for 22 years, he's now spent his time forging knives. Oh, and also says, with the title of Forged and Fire Champion, which is pretty badass.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
Is that like the show?
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
show.
no kidding.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
yeah, that's crazy. It says, he is an awesome husband, an even better father, and a great friend. He shares his passion for hunting and the outdoors with anyone that will listen. Thank you, Jonathan. Proud to call you brother. And I like this. For hunting and archery experiences, it just says, killer, loves archery.
That's all you need to know.
He's a killer and he loves archery.
What else is there to say, you know?
Right.
That's awesome.
So thank you for your service, Jonathan. And
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks, Jonathan.
that's
Thank you,
awesome.
sir.
Forged and Fire Champion.
That's cool.
We need to check this guy out.
So we were
boss.
talking about this veteran shout out before we started the episode, and I thought that was, you said Forge and Fire, and you're like, dang, that's cool. And I thought, because I'm like working on the side while you guys were talking about the veteran shout out, I thought that was like some sort of military thing I never heard of.
No,
No, it's a TV show on the History
Wow,
Channel.
that's cool.
that's cool.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your service, Jonathan. If you guys would like to submit a veteran shout out, workingclassbowhunter.com/veteran shout out. Quick, while we're on while we're on the topic, yeah, get them in there, submit them. We'll get to them all.
Come on now.
So this is something cool. I haven't talked about it on the podcast, but I made some social media posts. If you're a veteran or know a veteran, you're going to want to listen up. Hunt giveaway in Kansas, provided by Dirt Nap Outdoors LLC. They're Kansas whitetail and turkey specialists. They reached out to us and were like, hey, we want to give a hunt away to a veteran, and can you help us out with it? It's like
100%.
Yeah, cool. So we made a website page on our website, workingclassbowhunter.com/veteran hunt giveaway. So you go through, it's got all the information, the map on where they're at in Kansas. I'll give the quick details. 5-day hunt, November 7th to 12th or 14th through the 19th of 2021. Those are their prime dates. Meals and lodging will be provided. They're in Unit 14. It's a draw state, but they have 100% success on archery as far as like drawing your tag. They'll pick a winner before April 1st. You got to put in for the draw between the 1st and 9th through April, so they'll get a hold of you. Ladder stands, double bull blinds, hunt accommodations for handicap or wounded warriors. There's no trophy fee or penalty for shooting a small deer. If you're excited, then they're excited. They do everything possible to get you on a giant if that's what you're looking for. But you pretty much go here. There's no catch. Fill out your information and hit submit, and that goes all to us. And when we're ready to pick a winner, we will pick a winner. That's really all that's to it. So if you're a veteran, if you know a veteran, tell them about this. Go get the link, share it on Facebook, share it with them. Spread the word. It's pretty cool. They even offered that up,
Right.
Just out of the goodness of their hearts. And we're glad to just help. That's cool.
That's very cool.
That's badass. Also, talking about shoots and hunts and all that, June 12th, 2021 in Rio or Galesburg, Illinois, is the 2021 Working Class Bowhunter shoot. It is scheduled. It is happening. Rain or shine, it is happening.
Down.
So if the weather is bad and it's raining, don't message us and say, hey, is it still on? Yes, it's still on.
We will be there.
Bring your poncho.
It's on. Bring it. Come on. It rained and COVID happened last year.
Yeah, we're going through it in the rain.
Big Time is title sponsoring it. It's Galesburg Archery Club, Ryle, Illinois. It's a 30-target 3D course. I have on the website, workingclassbowhunter.com/shoot, SHEWT 2021. By the way, we know we spelled it wrong.
Yeah, that's not an accident.
I had some people say, they spelled it wrong to another guy, like talking shit. I'm like, glad you're here, man.
We're a bunch of redneck hillbillies, but we know that it's spelled wrong.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Yeah, thanks for being down to earth.
That's from the old T-Bone skit, wasn't it?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
The shoot.
So, and then there's also an after party at Jiggs's Tavern in Alexis, Illinois, which is a little town about 10 minutes west.
It's probably going to get drunk out.
Yep, that starts at 7. It's going to get drunk out. There is going to be meet and greets with Clint Casper, Johnny Utah, Billy C, and Emily Shad. That's who we got so far.
And us.
We'll be there. We're going to do gear giveaways from Scent Crusher, Big Time, HHA, Elite, Gator Outdoors, Old Barn, Victory Archery, Thermoseat, all the goodies, all our partners. If you would like to sponsor it, hit us up. All you got to do is just provide us something to give away, and you're a sponsor. It's that easy. There's no catch. Anyway, that's all the business here. Enjoy the podcast. Thanks for being here. We love you.
Class.
Okay, we are in Lincoln, Nebraska, the first trade show we've experienced since COVID-19.
Since Iowa Deer Classic last year.
Yeah, so good turnout so far at the show. Yep. Just finished day 2. We are at an Airbnb in Lincoln, and we're here with, Doug, Eric, Lord Chandler's in here, and we're here with 2 special guests, Chancy and Jared.
He's more special than I am.
Yeah.
COVID-19, it's 21 now.
21. It's been a while since we had Whitetail Adrenaline on the podcast. When you killed your big typical was the last time you were on.
Yeah.
But this is the first time in person.
Hey, this ornery SOB right here.
Well, I just knew you boys were rascals, and it's good to be here. I mean, you guys put on an amazing podcast, and it's good.
Thanks,
this
man.
is awesome.
Thanks, man. We
Those
try.
Serious. They got gadgets all over. I don't know how you keep track of this flim flam.
We try, man. We try, but
about 100 yards of wire running through here.
That's the only thing I hate about it. Like, it's the mobile setup, so you just throw it up and call it good, but it works, right? It's better than sitting around just.
But at the same time, it's like shit. It's 2021. Why don't we have wireless shit at this point?
Yeah,
No,
we don't got the budget for that.
No, hell no.
Great.
But no, man,
you don't want to go wireless. You get all that RF interference.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's bad with the phones in the studio.
I deal with that for 100 days of the year. I don't need to make it one-on-one.
Well, it's cool to actually be in person and bullshit. Like, we mapped it out. It's a perfect show for it. Getting back into everything in the year. So appreciate you guys meeting up with us, or I guess we met up with you here.
Inviting us to your Airbnb.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Like, we learned along the way.
King coming in a minute.
So. Right. Well, we learned that Chancey and Chandler have a mutual friend.
We've got mutual buddies. It's crazy.
Yeah.
True magnum of the trade, Alaska herd bull, Kerry Owens.
Oh, Kerry Owens.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever met him, but it's kind of crazy.
You need to introduce because this is somebody everybody's got to meet. I mean, I'm telling you,
he's
a real
an
deal.
interesting cat.
Yeah.
We just called him on the phone, and he just sounds like a pure good old boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
He's Illinois.
He's
boy.
floating down the river.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
with
just sitting here
with a go ahead.
catching catfish on the river.
Yeah, cranberry and Coke and rolling sushi on the boat, dude. I'm telling you, that's what he's doing.
That's awesome, man.
Guy's a legend.
Okay, well, I got to meet him then. Well, it's just kind of funny that it worked out that way. So I imagine we'll meet up down the road and record probably at Lord Chandler's place sooner or later. But no, we call him the Lord. So we had Chandler sit on. Of course, he's a part of this, but Chandler just picked up a longbow and is dabbling in the traditional game. And we got the King. You got the King typical with traditional equipment.
Well, not traditional, but longbow.
Longbow.
Yeah, of course, Gordon Whittington, I do. It's a few years ago. I don't keep up with the stats. I don't.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll tell you, it was a pretty cool moment. That deer it's got to be one of the biggest typicals ever taken with a longbow on public ground.
Right.
I mean, look it up. I mean, I ain't seen one.
Mel Johnson has for sure the record with trad gear.
Yeah.
Mel Johnson, he had that and that's a pretty cool story, 5 yards.
Right.
He shot that on a fence line. And we talked to people about that today, ground hunting whitetails. that was a lot bigger 40, 50 years
Of course,
ago.
right.
And then the compound came along, and guys were like, "Oh, I can be more accurate with this," but you're buying time. You got time. It takes more time to
Anchor,
draw
set up,
back,
and all
settle in. So then I think, in my own evaluation, looking on it, I'm like, that's what really drove. And I could be wrong, but I think that drove tree stand hunting.
I would.
Oh yeah.
I would. Agree with
people
that,
were like, okay, I can be more accurate, but I need to be more concealed and buy myself a little bit of time.
Yeah, the shot
And
delay is
then
greater.
10 years ago, I've been doing these shows for 12 years. Well, people would look at the TV screen, they'd be like, well, you can't hunt whitetails like that in this state. And I'm not going to get in an argument and try to tell you that, you're wrong, because I haven't hunted whitetails in a lot of those states either.
Right.
But it's kind of funny because over the course of time, I got to be buddies with like Steve Roth and John Adams,
cool
and now
dudes,
Tanner. He's from Pennsylvania.
Ornery.
A lot of those guys in Pennsylvania at the show. That's a big show. A lot of people coming through. They'd look at the TV. You could never do that here. And I knew in my head, I was like, okay, I've never hunted deer in Pennsylvania.
It's like, okay,
it's fine.
Maybe
it's
you
fine.
can.
I mean,
Maybe.
people. It's human nature. I mean, people. And it was funny. I was like, well, I'm not going to get into an argument with somebody I don't know. I'll get into an argument with somebody I know. That's not hard for me to do if I'm comfortable.
Right.
Because we'll, whatever, get in an argument and laugh about it and drink a beer or whatever. Everything's fine. It'll buff out.
Shit'll buff out.
But then it's like I got to know Steve. All of a sudden, Steve, probably 6 years ago, he started hunting on the ground, started killing big bucks on the ground in Pennsylvania. And I just chuckled in the back of my head, remembering all the people in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I'd come and look at the teepee and be like, "You can't do that here." And then John killed him, and then Tanner, he's a Western PA guy, farm boy.
Yeah.
And we were having a discussion. He did a lot of hunting with us last fall. We were hunting, plains, and he started hunting plain stuff about 2-3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm going to tell you right now, these deer are sharper than the deer in PA. And I started to think about it a little bit, and it's like, they're sharper. Those deer in those high-pressure states, like PA's a pretty high-pressure state, Wisconsin, where I grew up, in Michigan. Mm-hmm. Those deer, they're still sharp, but they are so pressured on a lot of the private, too.
Yeah, they're getting pressure
like
everywhere.
these deer in a lot of these western states, if they get very pressured on public, they just move off it. Those deer, they're bumping around constantly. Mm-hmm. So they're actually acclimated. So it's not that they're not necessarily sharper, they're just more tolerant.
Their baseline of human pressure is at a different level than it would be.
Yeah.
That
So
makes
they'll deal with it. I mean, you've heard Dan Infault. He'll find quite a few big bucks from my understanding, pretty close to the roads, and you killed that big
overlooked
one 2 years ago.
I mean, he lived
that
the road.
Damn thing was living
a,
right next. I mean, compound range of the road. That 175 that you were, and he was as comfortable as any.
He was living there like a rooster pheasant in the ditch.
How long did it take you to find that deer? Like, did you overlook him and then realize, oh shit, he's right there?
Well, it was one of those deals. We're just driving by, and all of a sudden, we're first day. Me and Matty Z. Matty Z is probably one of the most amazing cameramen of all time.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. He filmed all the Shockey
Jared,
stuff.
you were talking about him today, talking how good
he's done all the. What's the series that Shockey
He's the
does?
most humble badass I've ever met in my life.
The best, dude. He is.
This guy is ornery as hell.
Was that the guy with the boots?
And what's that?
With the boots?
With the boots. Go to Russia, forgets his insulated boots, goes in 20, 30 below for 30 days or whatever the hell it was without
running through
insulated
the
boots.
swamp.
And you'll never hear him bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, Matty Z
is a bad motherfucker.
He's not a guy that goes to the weight room and all that, but he's a guy like, you need him to go 20 miles, you need him to trudge through some shit.
He don't even question.
He's like in pain. It's kind of a funny story. He lives in Denver. Well, he married one of my best friends in high school's sister, and we're states apart. And small world. My good buddy kept telling me about his brother-in-law that
how he's a badass
filmed, and this guy's really cool. And all of a sudden, I connected through John, and all of a sudden, I connected the dots. Oh, that's
John Adams. He's a hurt bull too.
I was like,
being hurt by your satellite.
Your satellite.
Being hurt by your satellite.
John's an ornery bastard too, and he's been killing some good deer.
Dude, he looks like on the movie
on the ground.
The movie 300.
Yeah,
dude, he's a hurt bull, dude. He's got like a 20-pack.
Oh, he's a Spartan over there, huh?
Yeah.
Dude,
just fighting lions in the arena.
Yeah. He's silent but violent. He's silent but violent.
Yeah.
Silent but violent.
He's like that. He's like that. He's got the perfect. He's like that Greek. the way Logan
That's what I
described
told you,
the Greek.
He's a guy.
He's a Greek. He's a Greek. But
So let's talk about that buck that you're overlooking a little bit. I just want to touch on that. That was an interesting topic. That
was a pretty cool deal because so Matty showed up. He was, I don't know where were you guys at when you sent him my way and fixed the van and all the stuff?
I was in Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota. So Jared sent him to get here. I kind of wanted to get an early start. I wanted to try to get something killed by November.
Fix the van.
You know, I think,
Right.
yeah.
Fix the van.
Put a new starter in it. What's neat? We need something to start, right? So he put a new starter in that sucker. I mean, he's a mechanic.
Hey, I actually talked some shit on some cold fronts during that. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, well, we need to get into that.
We
Okay.
do need to get into that.
This could be a 4-hour
boy.
podcast.
Might
right
be
here.
a banger.
Whatever. I mean, so
and we're here, right?
here's the deal. Yeah, I mean, when are we gonna? I mean, this worked out good. We got to meet. But I'll tell you what's crazy. He gets there. I said, all right, don't be stressing out. Just roll in mid-morning, and we can get ready and kind of do a midday and just glass and just get the feel of things.
Get a game
bebop
plan.
around.
Get a game plan.
Yeah.
going.
Get a game plan
Take
and
it all
just
in.
get the vibe. I mean, what's shaking out
What's
here? I mean,
going on?
it's October. I think it was 26th or something weird.
Trying to get tasted
right in
out.
there. Yeah, get tuned. Get in the zone. Get used to what's shaking. So
yeah.
we're cruising around and got around about 2 hours before dark and.
You guys weren't seeing much.
No, not seeing much.
You took the boat out, did some
Dude,
rattle sets.
I'm looking, out in the depth of the jungle in the public, and all of a sudden, boom! Here's one almost just right
You
off the
guys were
fence
driving
line.
down the road.
Yeah, he was. Just,
I edited it.
Yeah. Well, we were driving down the road. Is
You're
what I
like,
meant.
you're complaining about, you did some rattle sets, nothing came in. You took the boat in, did a bunch of stuff like that. Then you're like, all right, let's get in the vehicle and jump out. It was funny because I wasn't there for it.
Well, it's
A lot
like
of stuff I had.
you pulling a boat with a minivan?
No, we don't have a hitch.
Oh no,
on
we
that.
didn't have the
We
van.
didn't.
No, we ended up
you
taking my
took
truck.
the
But
the van was there, ready for
I
us to
wanted
go,
to-
but
I
it
wanted
didn't have
to-
a hitch to pull the boat.
Yeah,
You're talking about a boat and then a minivan. I'm like, are
Well,
you guys
we're
pulling
confused.
a boat with a minivan?
Oh, correct.
Totally. We've
That'd be
done that
dope as
before,
shit.
yeah.
we were going to do the van. I said, let's leave the van. We'll save that for Kansas. Let's hook up a real rig to pull the boat. We weren't going to pull the, you know what I mean?
You
Now-
would have
so-
if it had a hitch.
If it had a hitch, we would have took the van. But I don't have a hitch. We're not going to go buy a hitch. So we hooked up the truck. You're right. Took the truck, and we're driving, and I
If
literally...
you need one made, let me know.
Pickup truck.
I can weld one on for
I'll
you.
tell you
Okay,
right now,
well-
pickup trucks on gravel roads don't have a clue on a minivan. Minivan will destroy
No,
them all
so
day
you've
long.
been rocking-
You ain't got a chance
It's the weight
in
in the
catching a
back.
guy.
How
in a
long have
minivan
you
on
been?
a gravel
How
road.
long have
What
you
about
been
little
riding?
I got 4-wheel drives too, and everything. But right,
Yeah, no, you're right. But a van, when it goes down the gravel road, the suspension
mile
goes like
an
this,
hour.
and the van stays
Yeah,
right where it's
just
at.
flies.
It floats.
Yeah, I mean,
It floats.
The guy wants to
I didn't know all this.
bebop and throw
You got
down
a van?
and try to chase
No,
you down
I'm gonna get
herd
one.
bull you
You
to
need a
minivan.
You need
Good
a van.
luck, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna destroy.
Same concept as
funny.
those dune jumpers. It just stays in one spot.
Right.
It is.
Oh yeah, the
Right.
tires are
Dude,
doing
they're built
this.
for kids. They're safe.
They are. You know.
It's like Pedialyte.
This is all over. I love it.
Yeah.
Just like Peel.
I want to get back to talking about this buck.
Okay. So I look over, and boom, this is probably a couple hours before dark, and I look over, and there's what we want. That's
Yeah,
the flavor
yeah.
you need. And he's just looking at
The
me
flavor
20 yards off the road ditch.
If the window was down, you would have jumped out of the vehicle.
Yeah, it was. There's what we're looking for. And you get all giddy, get
Yeah.
that feeling. We just kept driving, and I went up on the hill, and I know this dance floor. I've seen deer here, never seen a real big one there.
Dance floor.
But I go up on top, and I knew Matt's just like, okay,
That was all new public.
Yeah.
That came in a few years
Jared,
ago.
Yeah.
pull that closer to your mouth there. You're good.
And we get up in there, and we get up on this fence line. I said, just stop. We're going to run out here, and I want to see what he's going to do, and make sure I make the right move. And I got up on this high spot, and I get up there, and I can't see him. I climbed up a little cedar tree and got up in there peacocking around looking, and all of a sudden, he's nowhere to see. I don't see shit. I see a little puke buck going through there. I'm like, where'd he go?
Dude, you're
I'm like,
full of. You're
We
just,
got so
well,
many
I'm like, dude,
one-liners coming out of
well, I'm
this.
like, did he lay down?
Where do you come up with this shit?
I don't know. Dude.
I love
This is his lingo, dude.
See, we're trying to adjust to this is so entertaining that I'm trying to not interrupt your story because there's all these terms
But it's so
that haven't
funny.
yours.
We got
puke
puke
bucks.
I do got to
peacocking.
take a break. The first year I put Chancy on the videos, some people were like, I don't know, I don't really like that because I thought he was doing a bunch of one-liners or something. This is
That's
the
just how
guy's
he
lingo.
is.
That's how he is. They come
Yeah.
to shows and they meet him. He talks
Like,
like,
is this Will Ferrell sitting over here? What's going on?
pretty
I
much
love
different
it.
version.
I love
but
it.
yeah.
We just got to get used to it. It's amazing. I love it.
Brother from a different mother.
This is an after hours podcast.
It's
for the record.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
puke
dig it.
buck.
Yeah. So I get up there, and I'm looking up in that cedar tree. sort of peacocking, looking around. So I'm up there, and I don't see this dang deer, and I'm trying to get an eyeball to make a move. I'm not going to go keep driving by. I'm like, I don't know if I drive back by, he might run. You know how deer are.
Yeah.
You start giving them too much love, they want to run, right?
Right.
So, never stop. If it's a good one, keep moving that vehicle, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you don't
one
touch
key. You
the
never
brakes.
stop.
You don't
You might
touch
get
the
way
brakes.
off and stop and then look way at a distance and look into where he's
Yeah,
at.
thank you, sir.
And I couldn't find him. I'm like, maybe he bedded down. Maybe he bedded down, And anyway,
I mean, this is a 175-inch,
Just an absolute
beautiful, 4 or 5 year old buck. I mean,
No puke
That
buck.
ain't no
that's
puke.
different than a 2-year-old, 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? These deer are sharp.
Tolerance is a lot less for shit like that.
yeah,
so.
I mean, yeah, no,
They're so
we're
good at
serious.
reading.
This don't happen. I know public,
Right.
And I don't see him like that very often around there. And let's take advantage of the situation. And he had a couple satellite bucks there. I mean, he just got this doe. He's going to be in this little neighborhood if she's living in that area. We get up there and couldn't get a visual, so I actually, it was crazy. I come back down, seen him, parked over the hill and got up, and we got him in the hay bales. But it was one of those deals where I felt deep down that I thought he just got the doe within that day or two.
Yeah.
We got a little time to work with him, but I was still nervous. I didn't want him we don't want to go after him, but he had enough satellite bucks that would stay downwind of him and of the situation with him and the doe that I didn't want to get rammy and blow one of them out, and then it's over. Then he takes her across the road or something. So I got him this little nipple where we're working him.
He's comfortable in that little nipple.
He was so
He's
dude,
comfortable in that little nipple. So you
God let me see that deer because every vehicle that drive by that sonbitch would get down and bebop and put his head down and never let anybody see him. I mean, we watched tons of vehicles
And he
drive
was
by.
totally like, he lived there. Like, when you watch that video, you're like, this deer, he got high off of like, I'm duping people almost.
Right.
It had that feel to it. Like, he's just so comfortable, vehicle coming. It was in his subconscious. Like, when I watched that video, because I heard all about it, and it was funny to watch these vehicles drive by. You told me about it, but then when I watched the footage, I was like,
I was on
this
Pump TV
deer
with that
is
deer.
dropping his head down.
Man, that's awesome.
When vehicles are coming, and you don't even sense that he has a conscious, like, oh, there's a vehicle coming, I got to do this. He was doing it just like,
It's just part of his
I'm
routine.
going to make a scrape here.
He heard that
goes.
that vehicle down the gravel, and he knew right away. Hey, there's a car coming. I'm ducking.
He
out.
did. Yeah, I
And
guess
it was all subconscious.
Yeah. He's
That-
so
the way
content
that
in that
vehicle-
area that he knew exactly when the vehicle was coming.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's awesome.
Them deer that live by the roads and they know that trafficking, especially in that little area. I mean, he knew. He just sensed it. I mean, they're smarter than you think. Obviously, we've all been screwed by big bucks. I mean, I'm sick of it.
Well, even think like you said earlier, talk about the noise.
I'm
like
sick of it, too.
You start to slow down. Tires on gravel starting to slow down sound different than if you were cruising by consistently.
It's
They know
not just
all that.
visual; it's sound too. You don't. We had a situation not that long ago. We're going to get back to your story. You got to wrap.
No.
You got to get that going. But we had a situation. We had a big buck, 40 yards, laying. I don't know what the hell this deer was doing. It was late season. He had no doe. Big mature bastard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing probably 6-7 year old plus deer.
Right.
Old. I don't know what the hell he was doing, bedded there.
He was tired.
40, 50 yards off the road. And I was like, me and Matty Z, we had a little deer hauler on the back of the burb. We jumped on the back of the burb a mile and a half out, rode it. And I told Tanner, who was running the wheel, I said, we were about a half mile where they were going to drop us. And I knew if we stopped that vehicle at a half mile, he'd freak out. We needed him to cross the road. We couldn't hunt that. It's private.
Okay.
So I was like, just keep your foot steady on that throttle. Don't let that engine noise change.
Yeah.
Exactly what you were just saying. It's not just visual. It's also that sound.
Right. Well, I mean, you listen to cars. I mean, if you ever hunt near, sitting in a stand or whatever near a gravel road, you can hear, like I always listen. It's like, oh, here comes a car, and then you hear it, and you hear the sound. Well, if it stops, you're like, you can tell. And, those deer live there, yeah. So.
Well, and them deer probably know exactly, too. Like, if that vehicle passes every day, they know what vehicle that is, too.
I bet you they do to a point.
They
to a point.
Like if your minivan's coming down the gravel road, they're like, that's a new vehicle.
No,
I've heard that
That's a
one before.
minivan.
We might be overthinking it, but I'm telling you, they do. I mean,
I'm going to tell you right now, if you're hunting the plain states,
They know.
And I ain't done it yet, but you want a white vehicle because most of the vehicles, the ranchers and stuff, the guys that run
That's
around,
interesting.
they do
some
what? Because they
magnets
don't
on the
fade
side
in
that say
sun.
electrical company or
Right,
something.
Right,
That's
yeah.
on another
Those deer,
level right
Certified
there.
contractor.
Deer totally know those vehicles. Like
Put a couple-
that guy I can deal with.
They just got a big old
guy-
buck
yeah.
and
Put a couple
go
rat
ahead.
cones out.
there's old Carl going to work.
Yeah, waves.
So you
right.
put this game plan together.
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
big-
Well, I mean, we were talking about vehicles. I'm going to tell you, it was pretty funny, man. I was sitting there when I was in position to try to kill that deer later on, but it was funny. These vehicles kept, like, going up there, and I'm like, a couple of them stopped, and I'm like stressed out. I'm like, they see him. They see him. Oh my God, and they drive off. Well, there was a tree blocking the stop sign. They were stopping at the stop sign. I was like, I was like, why are they?
It's in the video.
I told Matt, I said, I don't know why they're stopping. They're seeing him, and then I'm like, he's like, there's a stop sign there. Oh my God! I looked to the
That's
left.
pretty
There's a
funny.
stop sign. So
That's
that's why.
funny.
And that's when you're like, well, there's been like 100 vehicles come up this road today. None of them stopped.
None of them seen him. We seen hunters camoed up, looking. It's like, oh my God, this is stressing me out. They see him,
Right.
they're going to stop, look,
And
blow
bump
him
him.
out, and it's
Yeah.
over, right?
But you did the right thing. You set up in a way that if that happened, you felt like they.
Yeah.
If
It
he
would-
would,
you were set
if
up in
he
a way.
would jump, he would go towards
come
where you
into
were
that
sitting.
little
Exactly.
slither
That's right.
spot.
But here's the thing with that too is I think it takes someone with experience to see a situation like that and be so, I guess, clear-headed about how to get around it just in case this happened, because an inexperienced hunter would do something too pushy, and because you see social media, it's like, got to get aggressive and do the work, and then bump it out and ruin it before you even put yourself in to get an
Passive
opportunity.
aggressive.
Well,
Right.
you guys' style
Yes.
is just so different from what other people are doing. Like, typically, we're talking about a lot of in-timber tactics where a lot of this is, like, road-based. I mean, the style that you guys have is just so
Unique.
totally different than what other people are doing. It's cool.
Right.
I mean, I'm learning all this, like, just listening to this for the first time, there's a lot to take in. But
Right.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
And we're all
on
over the
approach
place.
of
We're,
it.
it's fun, but it's there's so much, and the human pressure on whitetails is such an interesting topic. But it's crazy because everybody talks about it. Podcasts talk about it. Shows talk about it. You see it in all this. But then you got people that consume all this content and go out and ignore it.
Yep.
I feel that way
Oh,
anyway.
you're right,
it's like,
you're right.
dude, we just did a whole podcast with like Mark Jury about human pressure, and everybody just is like, "Oh yeah, it'll be fine."
Guess
is
we'll just
the number
roll
one
the
thing that
four-wheeler
fucks
in and
hunters.
check
They throw it out the window and just
check
drive
cards
their-
on the four-wheeler.
yeah, checking cards on the 4-wheeler and walking out to the stands like, yo, motherfucker, I think it'll be fine in your head ruins you for a lot of deer. It'll be
yeah.
fine.
It'll be all right.
And then you go out, it's like, well, no, it's not fine because big deer don't mess with it'll
They
be
don't
fine.
play that
Hey,
game.
I've been on
There's
big.
certain details that you can, in my opinion, not worry about. Like I get caught up in details like too far,
Okay,
and
like,
then there's details you can let go. And you're really
I mean,
damn
I've been
good
in
at,
enough
like,
bu-
okay, this we need to worry about, that we don't.
like what would
need.
be
You know?
one of your worries? I mean, both of you guys, that you maybe take it too far and you might not need to when it comes to precautions, I guess.
like
Like,
noise.
No,
Like
it's-
I'm real like shh. It's like you're awesome. Man.
I'm a movement
This guy,
man. Like,
this guy, I love working
see
with
that.
Chancy's audio when he's in the battle, because this guy he'll talk loud, so audio is easy when I'm editing video.
Right.
I'm like, this guy, I need to start talking louder, and I'm like, I ain't never busted damn deer talking in my life. I'm too quiet.
You think a deer knows
It's
what
a
a human
pain
sounds
in
like?
the ass
Nobody's ever
to
talked
make
to a
that
deer
sound
out
good.
there except for a tame one in a pin. I mean, we ain't, you know what I mean?
Did you remember a few years ago in the video?
Chancy's out there having a conversation with
I
the
get
deer.
that.
Well, you need to.
That's a male. I heard him talk.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I've
a
had-
herd bull,
Well,
right?
I've
you gotta
had
be quiet.
fawns. I've had
It's a herd
fawns
bowl over there.
does and stuff come up, they bust you. You start like ooh doo doo. You start like non-aggressive type sounds. They're like, what the hell? And you, we did that in that video. Booshy. She started talking. I think Shay started doing that. Shay started talking.
Talking pig Latin over here.
And they are like, they get all comfortable. It's like, it's not aggressive.
You gotta,
never
you gotta
heard
serenade
that.
them a little
Dude,
bit.
it's weird. It's
You gotta
it's
serenade
like
'em a
totally
little
threw me
bit.
for a loop. You started talking all like
And then Chancy's over here like,
non-aggressive.
hey, I'm in your dance floor right now, bud.
Well, I mean, I like to talk to him. I mean,
Chances
you get in
back
that
there
spot,
putting
you're like,
the
yeah,
slip
this is
on
no
the
wrong. Oh, yeah,
dance
you
floor.
get up
I've been
in
on
here,
this dance floor.
you start talking to him. I get a little vocal, but I don't know. I'm not trying to, but I like this. I like to tease him in there. You know, talk to him in my
This
mind.
guy's the most.
But I've been on enough big buck punked in my life. I've been screwed by so many big bucks. You
But
know,
you've
I mean,
killed
I
a ton,
get
too.
sick of stupid shit happening to
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And I almost overthink it. I just feel like things are happening because it's just me, but that's just part of life, and that's just
Whitetail hunting.
But I'm like, oh my God, that
You've
guy,
seen so many
like,
things.
here comes a vehicle route, and I'm wanting to kill a big buck.
Oh,
You know,
dude.
like, what's the odds of this shit? Like, I'm
Right.
sick of it. Okay,
Right.
Where's the cameras at? Who's punking me?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Sick of it.
Yeah, right.
Where's that Ashton Kutcher
It ain't
at?
30 years. It ain't 30 days ago. In December, late season, I had that thing. I had that big one I told you about out in some cut corn, and I was trying to figure out how to shoot
dipped
out
up
my
in,
belly.
yeah.
I had to wait 2 days, no wind. I didn't have enough wind to sneak up close enough he'd hear me coming.
Yeah.
And he was living out in this cut corn, and I screwed up the one day. I had wind. I went out there, and I went through the thing. There's probably a 300-400 acre cut corn. Mm-hmm. And it was open cut corn, so there was no, like, grass or weeds. There's
Right.
nothing
Wide
for
open.
cover.
Yeah, you ain't hiding.
Wide open.
What's he
And
look
I
like a
knew he
corn
was out
stalk?
there somewhere. And I could not find his ass. And about an hour before dark, all of a sudden he popped up. And I was like, it's little tiny dip he was in you couldn't see from an aerial looking at a topo.
Yeah.
You couldn't see it. And he popped up, and I was like, you dirtball.
He probably
You
walked
got
right by
me.
me.
I was like, if I'd have known you were there 4 hours ago, you'd have been in a good place.
Well, you
I
walked
was
by
like,
him.
but you're going to be there. I know you're not going nowhere. I could tell. He was kind of run down from blood or whatever.
Yeah.
And I looked at the weather, and I'm like, I ain't going to get wind for 2 days. I'm going to have to sit here and watch him. I'll watch some other option deer potentially for 2 days.
Right.
Which it wasn't just him. I found a little pocket mature deer. I mean, we're talking
The honey
5 to 8 year old deer.
No kidding.
The honey hole.
They ain't 2-3 year olds. You want to?
We're in. We're in
We're
the
in the
area
hood out
that
here.
this could be real.
You're talking.
folks.
Carl, I'm going. This could be.
You want to kill 2-3 year olds? Get the key and hit
We're
the
good. We
thing.
got a car alarm going off.
We
We're
got
getting
a
robbed.
car alarm.
Well,
So you want to kill 2-3 year olds on public land? It's gotten to where those deer. That's a whole different game.
Yeah.
Those deer. It's.
Yeah.
You don't always get them if you
Get comfy, man.
I mean, it depends.
Yeah, what am I doing?
We change our,
Sick of these
like
shoes.
if I'm hunting Nebraska public land, I'm going to shoot the first good 2-year-old, or Wisconsin, I'm going to shoot the first 2-year-old. Those are different deer. Mm-hmm. They start to hit that 4 or 5-year-old, and things like we were talking about earlier of like, the wind switch, they were going to rebed 30, 40, 50 yards to accommodate that wind.
to have the wind in their favor.
They don't even consciously realize what the hell they're doing. They just do
Natural,
it.
natural,
Two,
natural,
3-year-olds.
instincts herd bull. That's what they do. You guys seen
2-3-year-old whitetail don't do that.
Yep.
They just don't. It's not in them yet.
It's not as calculated, like subconsciously
Exactly.
in there.
So-
yeah.
This little pocket I found, it was just a little covey of big bucks, and they were for the most part residing on this private that.
A little cubby.
They just that's one of his verbiages that carried over to me,
A
and
cubby.
so I picked
Covey
it
a
up.
partridge.
So I want to go back because I think the last time we
Yeah.
recorded, we're jumping around, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Your giant typical we talked about in the beginning, and you were along for the ride. Chance, you were in on the whole mixer, which is
filmed it.
what an incredible thing to be a part of, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel before? Have you named that deer just a giant typical or whatever? What do you call it?
We never named that deer.
No,
We made a
It doesn't-
joke.
it doesn't
on
need
that
it.
video. We started talking about how people name deer. Remember that?
Nothing wrong with it.
I edited the video. I come across this cut. It's like 3-4 days in, and we were kind of like bored. Like we cover ground using vehicles in this open country. You have to. You
Yeah.
have to
Minivans.
eliminate acreage.
Yeah.
We talked about that. That's the number one thing with hunting public land. You have to have a method to eliminate acreage. And so in the plains, in the open country, you do it with a vehicle. In the wooded stuff, you got to go off your gut a little bit more. Okay, it looks like there's been a lot of vehicle traffic here, whatever. And then you just got to go in there and try to get your visual from there. In the open country, a lot of times you stay in the vehicle. Not always, but there are certain cases where you don't do that. But I didn't even, when you're filming unscripted raw, you don't realize the content or what this guy said or anything.
The shit you're
going
talking
through
about.
the editing.
Yeah.
And I come across this clip where we were just bored as hell and we were talking about naming deer,
It can get tacky real quick.
Which we ain't never ran trail cameras in all the years of doing this. We just get aggressive and
nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. Yeah. Our buddy Logan, he sells trail cameras. He runs trail cameras, whatever.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't match up with your style.
It don't.
Right.
It doesn't
need.
The reason I don't like it is it takes the whole mystery out of. Like when I grew up, you dreamed about what could be.
We talk about that a lot. That's like a thing.
You know?
The mystery of the legend of the giant buck.
You're looking at that.
It's been lost in recent years. That's been lost. That whole mystery of what could come through because you know every damn deer.
But the trail cams are what brought the names for deer, and then trail cams. We talked about this with Mark. It's what brought the ownership of deer between different landowners and public ground and shit.
Well, you got to look at different styles. I mean, 80-90% of guys whitetail hunting have their 160 or 80 or whatever that's theirs or they have permission on.
Yeah.
They put their camera on it. They take inventory. It makes sense there. With what you guys are doing, I mean, you guys are covering hundreds of miles. It doesn't make sense for what you guys are doing.
Yeah, you start falling in love, you're going to be hunting a deer that's a mile away on a private.
I've talked about this for years, getting emotionally attached.
Don't need a broken heart over there.
Deer, sign, rubs, scrapes.
Yep. Right.
You know, I grew up, I remember I had this little beagle.
I love this,
dude.
dude.
So I grew up hunting this public land giant swamp, Elk Mound Swamp. That's where I grew up. Right next to it. My grandpa, he had a house and a little farm right next to the Elk Mound Swamp, and I'd take that beagle. He had 3 legs. All right, dude, infant.
This might be
and
my favorite
I'd take
podcast
Duke,
ever.
old Duke. Me and Duke would walk through that swamp, and I'd pre-scud all these rubs and
3-legged beagle.
I love it. Dude, it's a real story. I'm not making this up. And we would, him and I, we'd pre-scud all this, and
the beagle.
I'd vision how this, how these deer ran and everything. And the damn thing was, I never killed a deer doing that. Every good buck I got on or killed or whatever, it was always on the fly.
Yeah.
Like, there he is, I got to do this or whatever. And I took a few buddies out, even back then, hunting those public lands. Like, I remember I took a buddy of mine out. Well, a buddy of mine's older brother took him out, big public land swamp in Wisconsin. I took him out, and I drew him a little map on a piece of paper. Didn't walk him in there or nothing. I said, he couldn't go up to northern Wisconsin deer camp. I said, you go sit out in this big pine out here. I said, here's what's going to happen. All this pressure's going to move in. You sit there. It's shotgun where I grew up there. It was shotgun county. I was like, you climb up that tree, and you watch like a hawk, and you're going to see a big buck come somewhere in this swamp.
Yeah.
You're not going to be probably close enough to shoot him, but you watch exactly where he goes and just bat him, and then we'll put together a plan. He got a hold of me about noon, and he's like, some hunters came in, they bumped him, and then he did this, and it was a pretty cool deal,
Yeah.
I come in there, and I was like, all right, you sit on this dike right here. I'm going to walk these cattails like this. This deer's going to wait till I get past. And he's going to cut back on me,
right?
And that's that's like a high pressure deer, like where I grew up. High pressure, private, public. Everybody let everybody hunt back then. Private in that pocket and area. So these deer were used to private. That's the acclimation thing I was talking about. Mm-hmm. So I knew that this big buck was going to hear me coming through the cattails. He'd already had that pressure. And he'd cut back. He'd wait till I got just past and then go where I just came from.
That's a pressure push.
Yeah.
That's what we call it.
That's a next level push.
Yeah, that's a next level. That's calculated.
Well, you always see it in old school magazines where he had that buck sneaking behind those 2 guys.
Yeah.
Remember that old hunting book?
Oh, yeah.
That was badass.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh yeah,
that was a good book.
Now you go to a deer.
Hold on.
You go hunt deer in a place where they're like,
try that. That's
they got no pressure here and pressure here. They won't tolerate that.
They're going to react 2 different ways.
They won't do that cutting back and doing all that because they aren't. But when they're pressured everywhere, they do that.
Oh yeah.
So what I want to get to, and we're all over, and I'm going to quit saying
Did Chancy finish the story yet?
No, probably not.
We got to get back.
Probably not.
No, this is how the podcast is going to go. By the end of it, we'll get the finale of the story, but we're going to have a lot of good stories in between.
Right.
Yeah, right. This is just pay attention.
Hang with us.
Hey.
We don't do this every night.
You guys are fun
Saturday
to talk
night.
to. I like this. I've never seen anything like
Well,
this
that's the
before.
whole point. We just want. That's how we want to be.
No, I like it. That's why you're on point. I love it. I love everybody that does podcasts.
Unscripted,
But
raw.
this is very special to me. I think this is really cool. You guys got going on. I'm excited about this.
Oh, it's fun because we can do it. We can do whatever we want. You know? So it's cool.
for
It's
sure.
the same thing with your show. You can do it. That's what's beautiful about it.
Yeah.
The typical though. What I was getting to with the name thing, just because I kept calling it the Big Typical, and you guys have always had like a hardcore following before, obviously, and always done really well because the way you guys do your thing and kind of reach to people, it's relatable and it's real and it's raw and it's down to earth, and you guys talk to people and you bullshit with people and do podcasts like this, which I think goes a long way with your following, and people appreciate that. But have you seen a huge shift since the Typical was killed, like attention and popularity and like an increase in interaction, or is it just been a steady climb from the beginning till now?
Yeah, I think there's been an increase. Here's my buddy TJ in Wisconsin. He's gone to some shows and stuff with me quite a bit over the years.
Yeah.
And TJ brought this up to me about 3 years ago. And it had clicked in my head, but it was cool hearing it from him because I had never spoke to him about it.
Yeah.
And he said, 10 years ago, he's like, you'd go to a show like this, and I remember this. And those first handful of years, he wasn't there at the show, but he started going to those shows about the time that he heard this.
Yeah.
You'd go to a show, and back when we started doing the public land thing, there wasn't nothing out there hardly for public land whitetail.
Right.
I mean, you had a production or two out from the Benoit, so I tried to find them and buy what they have, but it was, I think Tom Blaze, I think he produced some of that stuff with the Benoits.
It was slim to none.
Yeah.
You're a pioneer in the game of public land hunting media in the whitetail world.
It didn't exist hardly at all. And when we went to a show back then, you tried selling your videos as public land, and some people wouldn't buy it because it was public land.
Really? Right. Like it was like looked down upon a little bit or something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's two. It was either looked down upon or people would be like, yeah, I hunt public, but that's the only thing I got. And it was like this depressing kind of
like when they watch their videos, they want to fantasize about something else or something?
They dreamed of hunting private. They lost their private. They'd hunted for 10 years.
Yeah, right.
And Jim and I talked about this when we decided to launch the public land series. Like, people are losing their ground to hunt.
Yep.
We grew up hunting public land. We hunted private, too, that a lot of other guys could hunt, too.
It's relatable.
By permission stuff. And we're like, there's nothing really out there. And what got me captivated back on the public land is I hunted a private farm for 5 years in Buffalo County. And I did got into the groove of, like, I knew every damn deer around there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got so married to it. There's no mystery behind it, what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And 2006, that was the season where I just completely didn't run cameras, trail cameras, didn't. And that was
on the fly.
That was back when you take your 35 millimeter roller into Walmart and get it processed. I ain't never owned a digital trail camera ever. After that, I gave those two little 35 millimeter. There was the non-typical cutty back or whatever,
right.
And I gave them away to a kid that it was the farmer's kid there. But anyways, I didn't like how it took that mystery away. Like, I grew up dreaming about what could come through the woods.
I like that. I like that topic, yeah.
And I took that whole season. I shot 4 bucks that season. It was a great season for me. I hunted North Dakota, and I went into a piece of public, and that was, I hunted tree stand underground. That particular deer was a 10-pointer. I went in there, never hunted the piece before, went into, pinch point thing that I read and shot a big, 10-pointer. And I was like, oh, that was really cool, And then I remember I had a tranny go out on my truck at the time. I was in the middle of this rut, and I dropped this tranny, and I had, it was a Dodge Cummins and 5-speed, and I was
exactly
under
what
that
I'm building
thing.
right
I was NV45, 5-speed.
45. I'm rebuilding
fifth
one right
gear
now.
You as a
thing went
mechanic.
out on it.
Did
or
you
whatever.
weld the nut?
And I'm under. No, dude. I'm the only one I've ever known that's blown the nut off. It actually, I thought the nut. They had a problem with that, but I actually had the one with the torque screw.
Okay.
When I
You had
took
the
it
good one,
apart,
then.
I was like, "How the hell did I peel that?" Anyways, but I had my Merrill. I'll never forget. I had Merrill tennies on, and I had gotten to a point where I had a system down to where I could beat a deer's nose pretty much every time. The logo buck with the double drops, I let him go downwind because he come in 15 below, and it was a hairy situation. I was like, I'll let him go downwind. I've had 28 bucks on that private farm this last week. Not a one smelt me. I let them all go downwind. That was back before we had 2 guys out there. So I had a system. We're not going to go into that, but I could beat their nose, and you can beat their nose, if you do everything right.
Can't skip a step.
We play the wind now because there's 2 of us out there. We're in and out of vehicles. We're, you just
Changing
it'd
transmissions.
be miserable. It's like a full-time damn job to do that.
Changing a battery out, fixing a minivan.
Yeah, he's a mechanic.
exactly.
Thank God,
So-
because I'm telling you right
anyways,
now, we wouldn't be able to hunt.
I shot this big drop tine out there, and I was like, I had it in my head. I figured this deer would go like 180, and he went high 160s. It was the biggest deer I ever shot at the time of my life, and I was like, and that was that 06 season where I was evaluating,
Right.
and I was like, I was miserable, like, because he didn't score what I thought he would.
Yeah, interesting.
But then the tranny deal dropped, and I had my Merrills on, didn't give a damn about the scent. I had a half hour left. This tranny kicked my ass, and I was just like, whatever, screw it. I'm going hunting, don't care. I had tranny fluid all over the place. And I kind of knew every deer around the area, and there wasn't a lot of big ones that year around that whole area. And I go out there, and I seen this 8-pointer, 20-inch wide, spindly, young buck, but I was like, and I seen him chasing. He was on the neighbor's land, and he was chasing a doe, and I'll never forget it. There's a little creek bottom, and he come chasing that doe, and I ran as fast as I could 100 yards where I thought they'd be, and he ran that doe right down into there, and he was standing in the creek, and I, drove it. And I remember I reached over the bank and picked my arrow out of it. He had piled up and everything. There was a small buck I shot on that farm in Buffalo County. I was like, that lit me up.
That was memorable for
That's
you.
awesome.
And I was like, I love chasing big bucks, but that's the smallest buck I ever shot on this farm.
And you'll never forget
And that
it.
But here you are
that
talking
lit
about
me
it
up.
today. Yep.
And then 3 weeks later, it was muzzleloader season, and there wasn't a lot of big bucks around. That whole
Transmission's still out.
no, I got that in. I got a rebuilt one. I pulled that one out, and I was like, done with that. Anyway,
It'll go out soon.
it was a 20-acre standing hayfield, and with the right temperatures in late season, deer will go to hay. They love hay if it's a certain amount of temperature, and then they'll switch to corn or beans or whatever. But I had a double bull blind, $500 blind back then, and I went out there and I set this blind up. It was getting down. I had like 2 days left of the season. I kind of was playing, like maybe something will cruise in. But I got to a point where I was like over it, and I was like, okay, this is the biggest buck I know around here.
Yeah.
He ain't that big, but he's going to come out here to this hayfield somewhere. Muzzleloader. I went out there. I set my blind up. He come out like perfect broadside. Waited for him to get broadside. Boom, dropped him. And I was like, I ain't never doing that again.
Okay.
True story. No, true story. I won't hold that to anybody, but I gave that blind my buddy that lived right there.
The timing impeccable.
He loved hunting out of that blind. I borrowed that blind to him all the time. I gave it to him that
Take the blind
night.
out there.
I said,
Done.
it's yours.
Just not for
You
you.
can have it. It's not my deal.
I
He
respect
loved
that,
hunting
man.
out of it.
Hey.
I respect that.
And
though,
I was like,
a lot.
you know what? It's the
You know?
perfect broadside shot. Wait for the ethical shot. And I was like, the only way I'm gun hunting anymore is if I'm tracking them, stalking them, jump shooting them. And I don't care if they're running. To me, that feels for me. Now, for my buddy sitting in the blind drinking a handful of Busch Lights,
Probably not a
he's
good
like,
move.
He's like,
Hey, to each his
well,
own.
He's like, you know,
not here to judge. You do you.
it jacks him up.
Right,
He's all right. He's
Yeah, yeah.
like,
He's in the
it
moment.
gets him, you know. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's when I was like, okay, hunting, you need to
Gets the-
define that for your own
the-
Yeah,
individual self.
everybody's got that thing
know?
that makes
Right.
them tick.
But for me, that didn't do it. I
Yep.
was like, I need to be tracking them, jump shooting them,
Getting
or
after
driving
it.
them.
You're getting
and
after
I
it.
don't care if they're running. I love shooting and running deer because half the time I don't hit them. And you know what? I'm like, that deer is running for a reason. I'm giving him an opportunity to live. And I'm not granting him that, but
Right.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Interesting.
I'm like, okay, all right, I missed. You beat me. You're running for a reason.
You beat me this
And
time, so wait till next
I've
time.
literally
Good
visioned
game.
like, if you came to my kitchen and shot me when I didn't have a chance or no, I wouldn't like that as much as me running. You can hit me in the leg. I don't give a damn.
That's an interesting theory,
I'd
man.
rather
in the
interesting.
kitchen.
I've never went on the record and said that, but I've
Yeah,
thought about
it's
that.
bold.
I'm like,
It's bold.
It's bold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. And I'm like, I'd rather you hit me in the damn leg and me know than that. But I'm not going to tell I'm not going to say that that's wrong. You know, it's whatever feels right to you.
Right.
You know?
I see your
And
point. That's interesting. It's
But you got to put in, if you hit one, you got to put in that effort.
you got to
You know,
get it done.
And
You gotta
I
get it
almost
done.
lost one this year, and I told Maddie for years, Maddie Z.
Yeah,
I said, Maddie, I ain't never lost one with a gun.
Yeah.
I was like, if you're a gun hunter and you hit one and you lose it, almost always, you know, there's a rare situation, but I was like,
If you
you didn't put forth enough effort.
I hear you.
And I damn near did it this year, and I felt so damn...
Felt like an idiot.
Yeah, I shot one on the run of the muzzleloader, and I was 2 inches away from his heart. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like one of them deals.
Yeah.
He would have lived, and
You hit him in that sweet spot where it just goes through and
Low?
the hit doesn't hit anything.
Low.
Yeah, and it was like one of them deals, and Matt, and I was like, I know I told you this for a long time,
But it
And
might happen.
I was like, it's, and we ended up getting him.
Did
But
Yeah, right.
you
right.
know,
I see your point.
It was a sweet deal.
So
Anyway,
that-
we got to get back.
well,
No,
I wanted to get
that's
because
funny. That's stories I ain't got to hear yet. I mean, we got a lot. Everybody's got a lot of stories. Man. I
unfolding
love
a bunch
it.
of
That's
shit.
good.
So that fired up into basically your mindset change with piling into whitetail adrenaline.
Yeah.
But so after the typical big spike in popularity or just consistent growth, would you say?
I think it was more consistent, but you saw, I guess where I was going with that is TJ brought it up to me a few years ago, and he's like, you know, there's a shift. You know, years ago, people were like, well, that's all I have to hunt is,
right.
or
Well, now it's
I
trendy.
got my private to hunt. Now it's a
Trendy.
cool thing. Now it's like,
to hunt public.
Right.
you know, I've ran into, I haven't heard that in probably 3-4 years.
Yeah.
People don't come up and have that kind of depressing,
Yeah.
like all it's got is public.
Right.
Or
It's a pride thing
And-
now
and
more
also-
than it is a down thing. Like it was.
but the what I told TJ is I was like, it's actually pretty cool. I was like, I was actually worried about that years ago.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Visionary thinking it out. I was like, I don't want it to turn into like a competition thing
Right. And
because I don't like that.
it's. I feel like some of it's
like I
leaning
don't.
that way.
If you guys hunt private or whoever hunts private or whatever,
That's a big topic.
that's,
Like
you know, like fine. That's me hunting public. That's my deal. I love doing it.
Right.
Yep.
If you want to hunt private,
Yep.
go do it. I don't.
exactly.
Ain't putting no. I tell you, we ain't ever put nobody down. I was a private hunting,
Yeah.
but I was a nosebleeder too. You know, I was like, I got to get somewhere close to where the big bucks live. Was get up in here, but I'm not putting anybody. I'm not like I killed one on public. You killed on private. I'm better than you know.
Right.
Whatever,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
flavor
art.
you want to do.
Yeah.
What turns me on is doing what we're doing. Right?
Yeah, man. I mean,
And he told me, he said, Chance, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's
did
do
that
it.
for
and
years.
finally, well, because he bought me a tag. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to buy your tag. You're going to come out and hunt with me.
Yeah.
In Kansas. I
drink-
mean, my
you
selfish
drink the
ass.
Kool-Aid.
I was dreaming
If you
about
want.
this. I was dreaming about this big buck on private that I was wanting to hunt, all giddy and goofy about it, and all of a sudden, Jared, he's like, dude, are you going to come and hunt? I bought you a tag. Let's go. He wanted to get me going with this public thing. And I was like, I knew what I wanted to do. I'm gonna. Nobody's gonna make my.
He's yelling into the-
Nobody's gonna make my decision.
Yeah.
For me,
Right,
right?
right.
Okay. I don't really know if I want to go do public. I mean, I feel like I can go do it. I've hunted public, never really for deer. I pushed them during shotgun seasons, right? And something just told me, I started losing a lot of hunting ground. Nothing. And anybody that puts down the leasing deal, here's the deal. There's nothing wrong with it. The world's changing. You got to come up with times. And if you want to be able to party, you better figure out how to lease or make money and be able to have them properties. I'm not against it. It's a bummer that's how it worked out. Yeah. But there's no complaining. If you want to party and be able to chase them big bucks and have the leases, you better figure something out to do it, because you can't complain on the guys that are working harder than you to get that stuff.
100%.
You got to hustle.
I can't never put those guys down. But he's like, I started losing some private, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just like, oh, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time, because we and Jared's known each other ever since I started selling my artwork throughout the shows.
Yeah. Like that blondie girl, Janelle.
Hey, we got to tell that story. It's a quickie. I can turn that quick, and we're going to talk about it. But
we'll bring it back up. Finish your story. We'll bring it back up. The blondie. I don't forget blondes.
Yes, I like all flavors.
I mean, the blonde.
Nice gal. She's a nice gal.
Nice lady.
Sweet girl. Bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, but he's like, Chant. He knew
2008.
Yeah, and me and Jared, I would tell him. I said, I'm seeing this and this.
I forgot all about that, and then years later you brought that.
He's bringing it back up.
Oh shit!
No, it's good. It's a good one. And I told him, I said, listen, I'm losing some ground here and there, And I wasn't like crying about it, but I'm just like, I'm getting sick of it. Right. I ain't having fun no more. I'm going into a stand. I got another guy.
He really was. He was miserable.
I was like, there's another guy.
I knew where he was at because I was there at one point. In 06, that's my defining season. So I knew where you were at.
I had 5,000 acres probably to hunt myself. Good old boy, no money.
Yeah.
Go in. Hey, go on in, Brand. Go on in there. You just
bring me a deer loin. Some deals other guys let them hunt too, and you're miserable. You're
go in there and
like,
shoot some puke bucks.
Okay, I know what lives here. I don't want him to shoot it.
Puke bucks.
You were in that same place where I was in 06.
Right.
Yeah,
I knew exactly where.
And before he knew it, I had to hide my truck and shit because I was killing some pretty good bucks at a young age, and I'm just like, I'm trying to hide and get cedar line, be hiding, because before you know it, you got guys peacocking you, which we've all had it happen, and it's just nothing against that. They want to be successful and stuff like that, and I just had to hide my vehicle and shit. Before you know it, I had guys getting permission. All of a sudden, I'd be sitting on my stand. I'm like, holy, there's a stand right there.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my
grief,
God,
there's a guy right there.
and I don't care who you are, when you got like a permission, I'm not leasing the ground, and all of a sudden you look over and you got to stand there. So you get negative.
I'll tell you what.
I don't care who you are.
Real quick.
But I've learned to delete all that now. But now, in that time frame, I was like,
you have to accept it if you're hunting public land.
Accept it, and you don't
accept
it. It's part of the game. It's part of you sign up for it.
Yep.
So you already know what's happening. There's no magical tricks. Okay?
On private, guys feel a lot more like, this is my piece. What's this guy doing? Whereas with public, you're going in with a mentality like, I'm gonna have to compete with other guys.
Just like that one that I was telling about late season a month ago. I had to wait 2 days for the wind to come up. Finally, I got the wind, and within an hour of me getting the wind, like it was no wind in the morning. I was like, screw it, I'm sleeping in, which we don't actually do very often. I'm not a morning person, but I was like, I've been doing this for 2 days watching these damn deer, and I can't do anything. If I spot one, there's 5 mile an hour wind in open country.
Right.
They're going to hear my ass, whatever. And I kind of already – so I slept in that morning. I get out there about 9:30, 10. I see the weather. Wind's going to start picking up around 11. It's 10, 15, whatever in the morning. I come up the road, damn pheasant hunters.
Oh, no.
All right? And I'm like –
another factor to consider.
Oh, no. I pulled – this is a weird section. It was a 1.5 mile section. Most sections are mile by mile, right? I pull up 1.5 mile section. Took me about 30 seconds. Pinned him. He's laying down out there in this cut corn, and I'm like, "All right, if these pheasant hunters are a 1/2 mile out." And all of a sudden, it was a little chilly morning. I rolled the windows up or whatever. All right, we'll let these pheasant hunters pass. Hopefully, nothing happens. And I didn't hear it, but I'm assuming they shot or the dog barked or something.
Right.
And that buck, he'd been out there for 6 damn days.
Yeah.
Here, there. But he was within this little 1/4 mile area. But that's, I got a little sidetracked there. But that's you have to accept that.
Right.
You got to accept
The unknown.
Yeah.
That
So you
can get all pissed off about pheasant hunters or whatever, and you're going to if you're a do-it-yourself hunter and you've been grinding. You're probably the best I've ever met at like getting real pissed off, but then like, yeah, well,
It is what it is.
damn pheasant hunter messing up my program. Yeah, well, they can be here. It's public land.
Right.
You flip the switch quick.
Yeah, no. But with the public and private deal, I finally got fed up with, it was stressing me out. I wasn't having fun anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to have fun. If I ain't having fun, I ain't doing it.
You're almost
Trust
like
me.
ruining it for yourself when you don't.
You know what I'm saying? If I ain't having fun, I ain't doing it. Of
course.
So therefore, after a while, I'm just like, okay, he's getting permission. And after it was like, oh my god, this is like goddamn war, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, get me out of this deal. I ain't fighting to kill a big buck. And then I remember Jared's like, he knew the tension. We know each other very well, and he just knew that I was kind of fed up with it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with those guys. They got permission too. I'm not going to put nobody down. They just they were there trying to do what I'm doing.
Right.
Never
Where's
put
that?
down another hunter. Just on different properties. You never did hunt that. I never did take you to that property. But I'm there.
2010, I did film you for
Well,
3 days.
yeah, and that was probably that was the next year.
That was when you were hunting private. I filmed you, not on the video.
I had some sexy stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, but
You peek out.
you spend the time, you're going to kill a big one. I killed some big ones back through them years, and was very confident. And my nosebleed them. I wasn't doing the whole deal, and I was very happy, and I felt confident. It's all about confidence when it comes to hunting. But you know what's crazy? Jared's like, "Are you ready?" He knew the tension, right?
He could
knew
sense
the tension.
it.
He sensed it
smell
like
it on
a
it.
bull.
I knew where you were at because I was there before.
Like a herd bull, and I was like a satellite bull. Thought I knew, and then all of a sudden I'm like, "It's time."
I was like,
"It's
dude, I
time."
seen
He said,
you
"It's
having
time."
a ball
You had
with
an
them
awakening.
turkeys.
It was time. It was an awakening.
You're like,
I saw
the light.
That's what that DVD should have been called.
He's like,
The
I
Awakening.
love turkey hunting. I was like, you love turkey hunting because it's free. It's freedom.
Yeah.
You're not married
talk
to
to my
inches
buddies.
and
Yeah.
all
Hang
that.
out when you sneak.
I love
Right.
killing big bucks, and it's a very thin line. Like I love chasing big bucks, but it's a thin line. Like with turkeys, 9-inch beard, 10-inch beard, nobody.
No one gives a shit. Yeah, no
Nobody
one
gives
gives
a
a
You
shit.
don't care. They don't.
It's a
give
moment
shit.
deal. It's a moment with your buddy deal. We all love turkey hunting. It's just
And
something to
I
do
knew,
that-
I was like, okay, if you love turkey hunting like this, you're going to love deer hunting like this and not, once you accept that public land is open for anybody else to hunt, once you accept that, like, that's just the way it is.
Right.
And of course, we're all hunters. You're going to be like, damn, pheasant hunters blew it for me. Squirrel hunters, bunny hunters.
It's crazy. It's
You've
almost
been out
like
there.
It's almost like two different sports when you look at like what we're used to and what you guys are doing. I mean, it's so different, but in the end, the goal's the same.
Right.
We're looking for big, mature deer.
Right.
It's really intriguing to just listen to the whole approach to it.
Well, that's why I like your guys' style, man. Like, it's just it's so different. It's so raw. It's so direct and just honest that I think that's the big attraction to it, right? But then you mix in like your personality into it because you're a calculated dude, man. You can tell by watching the videos that you think about things at a higher level than what the average whitetail hunter does. And I feel you do too, obviously, Jared.
I've
but
learned a
you're
lot
more,
from him.
You're a little more expressive
Learned a lot.
with it.
But it's
Right? That's
yeah,
fair.
he's more expressive. I'll tell you what, I learned so much from him in that first season that I hunted with him.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it.
We had fun,
That
dude.
first hunt.
That was
Well,
fun.
that's
That was
the one
fun,
when I
though.
shot the big
I was like,
John.
I'm having fun again.
Finally, the
It took
awakening.
me about 2 days, and I was like, you were spotting, I felt like, as many or more deer than me, and I was like, I ain't never met nobody that did that. And then I was like, this is kind of nice. I'm
not the herd bull anymore.
Yeah, I was like, it was actually kind of like,
You're relaxing.
I loved it, though. It was, like, weird. It was, like...
He took a lot more naps
like
that
it.
season.
I was like,
relax finally.
because every damn deer that I would have spotted, he would have got, he was beating me on so many, and then...
Yeah, I seen that deer
I
10
was-
minutes ago. I just make sure you pay attention.
Yeah, and then
I pulled that every once in a while.
and then it was like, well, if I did spot him first, he would have got it in 2 seconds anyway. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just
It
gonna-
almost makes me jealous
No.
to listen to the dynamic and the way you guys approach it because I'm still stuck in that old school way. Like I have my farms, I run my cameras, I have my big deer that I have monitored, and like you almost can't enjoy the farm because you're so afraid of what you might bump out,
or your neighbor might shoot it.
Well, that too. The moves you're going to make, is it the right one? Am I going to bump this deer out? Yeah. You're almost scared to enjoy the farm, whereas you guys are just so free with it, and you're just enjoying it. I mean, it's
like you could buy a farm and spend minimal time on it because you're waiting for a couple weeks out of the year to make the right move.
Yep.
And
it is effective. I mean, obviously it works. We're doing it. We're killing deer that way.
Absolutely.
You can't argue with like what we've done.
It makes me want to pick up, get the old Geo-Metro around and cruise the block around and glass some shit.
And just get after them.
The best way to do that is 2 miles out. Yeah. Nobody glasses 2 miles out. That's what I realized over the last year is like, don't glass your stuff a half mile or a mile out. Glass it a 2 mile out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because nobody realizes that you're looking way over there.
But how awesome for you, Jared, to have because you add a lot to the videos because you're expressive, which is awesome because
he's very open.
He has that dynamic.
He'll let you know what he's thinking.
Well, here's my thing. We talked about this a little bit just at the show today, Jared. Like when I watch a hunting show, I'm really interested for spurts, and then I fall out a little bit, and then I get really interested in spurts, and then I fall out of it a little bit. Yep. And I think you capitalized on not letting people do that, and then your personality into it because you're kind of like, don't think it's the wrong way. You're kind of thinking out loud, but you're like painting the picture. I mean, you are an artist, so then there you go. Maybe that's where it comes in, but I hope that's
no, it's good.
That's perfect. No, that's perfect. I love the way you put that.
No, I agree. I like this.
You paint it with your mouth. You're like you're thinking as you're talking.
You tongue down the story. You know what I mean?
So many times you're like talking about what you're thinking at that moment. And I don't do that. I'm more reserved. And then you're like, no. There's so much footage that hits the floor that I cut.
He's just out on the dance floor.
When I'm editing it, I'm like, he's thinking.
I know that dance floor.
He's thinking out loud.
And he'll rebuttal on stuff that he said 10 seconds ago. And in 2 minutes, he's got it dialed in. And I'm like, he's right on right
Hey, let's hear about this blonde.
My woman?
Well,
Jess.
Yeah, I got
it back.
Well, I got an amazing.
We'll talk about Jess.
Hey, I will tell you, I am a brunette man, but my woman is a blonde, and she's the most amazing woman of all time. But this is cool. I'm going to tell you a quick one.
Minnesota Deer Classic. Oh, hey,
he's getting excited.
I have a feeling we're going down a deep rabbit hole.
No, this is a quickie.
Well, this is clean and mean. Nothing.
All right.
It's all innocent. We're all men here.
So
we love women and good-looking women.
How long were you on the dance floor?
Good-looking blonde woman.
Okay,
I will. I was 150 pounds back then, so
I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
So. This is the first time I met Jared. This is the first time I met Jared and how I became friends. And it's kind of cool to know how the hell did me and this crazy bastard meet, right?
Right.
So I go to a show. I've been going to the shows for a couple of years now, and I've been selling my artwork, my feather paintings.
This is back in 08.
I have been selling them things. I'd bring 50 to 60 of them to a show, and I try to sell them. Mm-hmm. And I've done pretty good. And I was hop show to show to show. And Jared just came out with his DVD, his first DVD. What's the name of it?
What?
The first DVD.
Preliminary run.
Yeah. So he come out with that. Well, I'm
just
walking around. I don't have a clue.
Waters, right?
I have no clue.
Dipping your toes in.
Yeah, just seeing if people liked it.
Right?
Yeah.
No, he knew what was going on. He knew he had something pretty special, and I'm pretty good at gauging shit. Okay, I can read flim. This is
very good.
And I'm walking
he ain't patting
through.
Himself on the back. Yeah, it's real.
I'm walking through, and I love going through. I love hunting shows, man. Everybody's there. They're entrepreneurs. They're wanting to do stuff, and I love it. You guys got this idea. Was this your deal? Starting out, or you guys, as a team, you guys are all buddies. That's what it's all about.
Started and it just snowballed into what it is.
Entrepreneur, making shit happen. I'm outside the box, and that's what this world's all about.
Right.
And what's cool is I'm walking through. Just got the booth set up. It's time, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm walking through.
Single man.
I've chosen, boys. I've chosen to be single my whole life. I got an amazing woman right now.
You're making Play-Doh snakes.
What's going on over there?
So I'm bebopping through the show,
Bebop.
and checking it out. What people got here? What there's something here? Maybe I need to buy it. I have no money, but maybe
you were peacocking.
I was peacocking.
Peacocking.
I was.
I'll tell you what he was
single, ready
trying
to
jump to my program.
I mean, I'm only human. telling you boys, don't be fooled. Okay,
He's
so
the-
I
he's
go.
the bull bug.
That's
You're
what
the
I
bull
said.
bug.
Let's let him tell the story.
Yeah, so it was crazy. I'm walking, and all of a sudden, I'm like walking. I see this. What's that? That's good looking blonde right there. You know, I mean, I'm a single man. Okay, nothing silly about it. I'm like, oh, let's go see what the hell this lady's got. She's pretty, and there's videos. Oh, you know, this is at the beginning of. If you think about it. Back then, this is the beginning of DVDs.
Yep.
You know, Whitetail Freaks just started, maybe Bebop and
A few years before that, Whitetail Freaks.
It was, but I'm just saying, like, there was a lot of stuff where a lot of people were starting to make the videos, but they, different things in the television. That's when deer hunting really
Modern
started
industry was developing.
getting crazy.
Yep.
And I looked over and I seen this little video going, and this good looking girl sitting here. And I'm flirting with her. I'm like, what do you got going?
but I'm into the blonde too. What's her story?
I was flirting with her, and all of a sudden, Jack in the Box, Jared pops behind the booth. I thought she was there by herself, and he's like, "Hey, what's shaking?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" He had me, dialed in, hitting on his chick right there, and I wasn't.
I know what you're doing. You're only human.
Yeah, I mean, he was born the night, but it wasn't last night.
Hey,
Right?
it's public land,
That was him.
Public land, you never know.
So, but I jived with
private
Jared.
ground
Jared
property.
popped up, and we started talking, and I can read people. He read me, and we were like, oh shit, we're buddies.
Hey, what's happening?
And we kept in truck. We kept.
I knew what drew you over there. And I was
Yeah,
like,
but that's how we met. We
Gotcha.
became really good
That's
friends.
hilarious.
Cool,
too,
right?
and if I
Yeah,
was
that's
single,
awesome.
I would have strutted out
It's
there.
public
too.
land.
Did we just become best friends?
No, she was a nice gal.
She's a nice
Janelle was
lady.
great.
That was it. But anyway,
great gal.
You know
Yeah,
what?
we
You know
moved
what?
on
Bless
from
her
that.
heart.
Yeah, bless her
her
heart. It was
soul.
an experience. Life is about experiences.
Yeah.
We meet a lot of people through our life, and a lot of people choose. I chose to be a single man through my life because I'm a rat. I'm like a coyote in the city, okay? I like to do what I want when I
Good
want. A
luck
lot of people don't
taming that
understand
guy.
me.
We call
I
that-
didn't
we
want to
call that
tame.
feral.
I didn't want to tame myself. And
Feral.
finally,
Feral,
I
yeah,
tamed.
yeah,
I have an
exactly.
amazing woman right now, and her name is Jess John. She's my queen, man. I love her. She
My
loves
queen.
to hunt. She
there
can
you
flip a bait caster better than most men.
No
There you
kidding.
go.
Okay, sold me.
There you go.
Sold me.
She's a good one. Is she not a good
Oh,
woman?
Jess is
Good.
That's
woman.
funny, man.
She's my woman.
That
But
is
anyway,
awesome.
yeah.
She's a nice
Popped
lady.
up. So
Nice
that's what
gal,
all
nice
rolled it in, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys just hit it off from there, and
Yeah, we knew.
Yeah, the blondie. I reeled him in with the blondie.
So-
No, I didn't give a shit about the blonde after I met you. I was like, I like this dude better than the blonde. She's decent, but whatever.
Jared's over here lassoing.
I'm all about making good friendships here. I don't
I'm getting
care.
this son, bitch.
Yeah, right. But
So-
we knew, we connected really right off the
we
bat.
hit it off.
He was
the
a real
bat
deal.
Right away. He was like,
I
"Oh,
felt
all
like
right,
I knew what I was
all right,
doing.
like
We
this
just hit it
guy."
off.
yeah, dude, that's awesome,
We hit
man.
it off.
It's cool how all that just rolls in.
Great,
You know?
good respect. Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
he was up there. He knew us.
One of those mutual things.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like, all right. I'm sorry, I stepped.
That's
on
how
your
our
toes.
all our
Better.
crew's friendship
I
rolled in.
understood.
Just
He wasn't
coincidences
You
and
didn't
stuff
see
like
me
this.
down there, Jack in the box, you
Right.
know?
Jack
right,
Box.
you
Gotta be
surprised him,
real.
though.
You can't get too defensive.
recap.
You know, I mean,
Let's talk about the new videos, man, because we got some. We haven't watched them yet because we just picked them up at the show.
Yep.
So I guess if
DVDs 2021.
Hey.
Standard def.
I love it, standard def, nice.
SD.
But for people listening, that hopefully all the shows that you guys are gonna be at here, hopefully they all happen. And COVID, well, Joe Biden's president, so everything's gonna disappear. Easy, everybody listening. You
We
mentioned
got
politics.
the World Wide Web.
Yeah, the World Wide Web.
The interwebs.
But so people
Yes.
listening, the DVDs, the new videos are out, so they can pick them up. At hopefully, all the shows happen that are planned, and they can pick it up. But I just want to talk about them a little bit. I guess promote, aka get people excited about it.
Yeah, no, Resurgence is a great set.
Yeah, I'm excited to
You know,
watch.
it's hunting. You know, I mean, you have years where I look at it like hunting. You have spurts.
Mm-hmm.
You have spurts where just everything comes together, and it's like, man, how did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we had a couple years where it was a little bit drier and a little bit rougher and everything. And Relentless kind of got us back, I think, more on track.
Mm-hmm.
And then Resurgence is just phenomenal video.
Yeah.
I think, you know,
Yeah.
we spent a lot of time on it. I
haven't even got to see the whole video.
You haven't?
No, I've been 100 miles. I've seen a couple clips.
This guy's 100 mile an hour. He don't.
I'll watch
I sensed
it
that
here
a little
soon.
bit.
He's like, He's like, maybe 10 years down the road, I'll watch
He's
that
too busy
video.
ripping lips over there.
Ripping lips.
Fish on, baby.
Fish on.
Mr. 5000.
That's right. We're
Yeah.
going for it this year, boys.
This guy's going to be winning bass championships. I give about 2 years. You're getting real close. This year you're going to do real good. But I figure about 2-3 years it's going to be
Takes a little
like.
time, yeah. I'm excited. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't think I could do it.
You kind of dabble everywhere, don't you?
This guy's the biggest outdoorsman I ever met in my life.
Dude, if you're friends with
doesn't
Terry
know.
Owens and you're waterfowling, you're fishing, you're living off the
this-
land, you're bow hunting.
I ain't never waterfowl in my life. I feel like a loser.
I had never done it either.
You know?
Waterfowl? Who?
Never. Me.
No? Take him.
That's just
Terry will take you.
I'm not a pro. I mean, I've been
Terry
a
will
handful
take
of
his
times.
birds in.
I'll tell you what, I ate some geese or duck or whatever the hell you made. And, people told me for years.
There's a bird.
I used to hunt grouse back in the day with a full choke.
Partridge.
Partridge. I ain't
Yeah.
got a rifle, but I had an 870. I got it at a gun
Covey.
show back when I was 12
Covey.
years old. Wingmaster. The ones with the good wood. And
Keep out of the wood.
but I ain't never waterfall hunted in my life. This
Yep.
guy's been trying to get me go for years.
right.
It's just like turkey hunting. You've been trying.
Hey, I wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun.
The good waterfowl
I might drag
hunting-
your ass, cuff your ass, and take your ass out and show you how to kill some waterfowl.
Right. The good
bring a-
waterfowl
bring
is
a-
right when
bring
the
a
rut's
blonde.
going on, so it's
It is.
Bring
Yeah.
a blonde.
Well, let me tell you
And
something.
you're there. You're there.
Hell, I'm there, too.
Blondes, brunettes. I don't pick fit.
Waterfowl hunting's fun. Yeah, obviously, it's hard.
I'm with you.
Hard to pick them times to where you can do both.
Yep.
All of a sudden, there's money missing off your dresser and your daughter's knocked up. See the hundred.
What the hell did I walk back into? I get up to
You
go
know
pee,
what?
come
You know
back
what?
into this.
You know, people be like, we're getting a little side topic here.
We can do whatever we want. It's
Hey,
our
man,
show.
no,
man.
hey,
it's great. It's all,
I look
it's
at it
all
like
over the
this.
place.
Men will be like, oh, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot. And she, in her back of her head, she's like, oh, he's got money, he's got money. It's both shallow things. It's just the way it is.
It's the way of the world.
Hey, hard to argue with, man.
You know?
This is fun, dude. I mean, we don't have to end it out, but I do appreciate you guys meeting up and just bullshitting with us.
Oh
and
man,
all
we're-
that.
it's
It's
great.
fun.
Great
It's
man.
great. No, you guys are great dudes. I can, hey,
You pick
I know
up the
good
vibe.
people. I know
Hey,
good people
You're
when
cool.
I meet
You're
them.
cool. You're
Well,
shithead. You're cool. I'm out.
That's what I like about podcasts because, we have the studio and we do some that are like super focused, super serious, and stuff like that. Then we do some that are mixed, and then we can do some that are like
Variety.
all over and just lighthearted and fun. And maybe there's no point to it at all. We're just having a good time.
I don't think I've ever had
And-
more fun than I've had on this podcast.
Yeah,
It's been all
that's
over the
the
place.
sporadicness of it is fun because
We didn't even get to the end of your story.
yeah, I know, but
Yeah, we need to finish out
I
with
just,
that.
Yeah, because
We gotta get on Chancy.
we can circle full back into it. Like we can do whatever we want. But I like what's going on.
I'll
It's
never
fun,
forget
man.
I like
that
that-
time we did that podcast, and you're like, "Yeah, we're loosey goosey, unscripted." You guys are like cracking beers,
Yeah. Dude,
in the
episode-
background or whatever, and I'm like, I ain't
Episode
never done a
15
podcast
was the
like
first
this.
time Jared was
No,
on.
this-
This is almost
I remember.
430.
I
It was
literally,
awesome.
Yeah.
I literally, when I did that podcast, I literally thought in my head like,
Who are these fuck
I-
noses?
no, not that. I was like, I really like this, but I wonder how it's going to work out.
Well, it was the
I
beginning.
literally
It was
thought
the
that I
beginning.
didn't say that.
It was the beginning, yeah.
I was like,
that was
but-
6
but,
years
but
ago.
then in the back
You
of my
had the
head, I was also
visions.
like, I think people kind of like a little bit of that unscripted.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
I dig
having a
it.
couple
Jared,
beers and
It's
loosening
relatable
up
to the
and,
crowd that
Can
you're
you-
trying to appeal
You know,
to.
Right.
whatever.
Can you
know,
believe
there's
that
a couple
was-
swear words? Maybe don't get too out of
Yeah,
hand,
you keep it in
but,
bounds.
you know,
But can you believe that was 6 years ago? Just
6
about
years
6 years
ago.
ago.
Well, you know what's
Close.
Yeah,
Close to it.
What's crazy is that hunt. I want to tell you a little bit of my side about the big giant that really set it off. And I'll tell you right now, Jared, that hunt, it was a very, very unique deal because I was like, this is meant to be. You get this weird, he's doing
that was
public.
the first hunt we ever did together.
This is public. I told him, I said, this shit's going to hit the fan when we start hunting.
I got
Right.
And I told him, I says, listen.
I'm pacing myself.
I said, listen, you listen, young man. And I said,
you listen here,
and I'm like, in my mind, I messed up on Droopy. Remember Droopy? I messed up on that deal, so it was his turn. And when I was going back and forth, I'm not a greedy person. I said,
That's
"Look,
what
give
I
me-"
was saying about the
I said,
videos when I was
"Get-"
editing. You were like 3 days in on the hunt. I was coming through this footage, and I edited everything in like sequential order. So I come across, it was like 3 or 4 days in, and you're
Chancy.
like talking about deer that name, and you're like, he's got an ear that hangs down here. He's called Droopy. Left ear, whatever the hell. And then you hit that deer like 2 days later in the damn ear, and the same ear that you called it out. And I was like, people are gonna think we scripted this shit. I didn't know I edited it, and I was like, I gotta put it in there. But I was like, it's gonna sound like, how can you call that shit? You know?
No. So the Droopy deal all started when we were just talking about naming deer. Oh, that's old Droopy there, old Browser, and da-da-da.
Browser.
And I said Droopy. No shit.
Droopy.
And,
his left ear hangs. And you hit him in the left ear in his Dude, I never saw that buck without a doe. They thought he was so cute.
Anyway, that was on delivery.
He had character.
Horrible moment, but it was.
I almost killed that deer, dude.
I'm glad I didn't wound him up real bad. He lived and had girlfriends past my time.
Past my time.
Yeah, past my time.
You shot him in the ear and he lived?
He lived, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude,
I didn't.
2 days before that happened, we were like making a joke about how people name deer or whatever, right?
That's hilarious.
And we made a joke. We're like, yeah, we name them when they're in the battle. We get in the battle once you have a beat on them. And
they're deserving of a name.
Yeah, once you make a connection with them.
And I was trying to, it's like, I got buddies that name deer seasons out. We're going to let them go to grow and all that. But we were laughing about all that, and we don't name deer till we were in the heat of the battle. And he says, deer. We call him Droopy because his left ear hangs. And then 2 days later,
I drooped one up. I drooped him up.
Get him drooped up.
You made a little more droopy.
Well, I do want to talk.
I'm filming unscripted. You don't remember that you filmed that. It was on video, and then it was like I almost didn't put it in the video because I was like, it's going to seem like it's
scripted. Right. It's just too coincidental to play it off as
But I was
like, no,
I'm letting it go, whatever.
Well, Chancy, I want to talk about your perspective on this typical, going back when I was talking about how expressive you are. Because if I was with say I was with Eric and he was on a buck like that, I'd be freaking the fuck out the whole time about, dude, that's a world-class typical.
Right. I knew it was, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I live in Iowa. I've seen a lot of big bucks. I've seen a lot of camera pictures. Used to run a hunting place and took care of a bunch of these guys from Texas and tried to put them on big bucks. I've seen a lot of big deer. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I seen that deer when we seen him, and I'm just like, this is a big one. This is 180 plus typical frame.
I remember you saying top five.
Top five. And he's like, top five, you think? I said,
and then it went down to top three. And
he got big.
He's like, that might be the biggest I've ever seen.
Oh, I was trying to think that I've seen
video.
I've
seen
it.
Right.
It was cool to listen, and I kept it in my head like.
Well, I want
140.
I want Chancy
to 140
in the moment.
I want you to do give me your thought, your inner thought monologue. Let's go uninterrupted here, because I want you to really express through, you see this buck, then you realize how big he really is. I want you to break that down.
Okay, once we got in, Jared was doing a lot of the glasses. I was filming now, so I had the big camera going. It was me and him. We were teamed up, and I finally, I'm filming Jared. It's his time, right? This is his dance floor.
Just to put things in perspective, we spotted that deer. He was on private, and we knew there was some public that bordered it.
And dreamed about him.
Yeah. That was on day 2. But the morning we spotted him, he was on private.
Yes.
And we drove 1 mile. It was pretty much exactly 1 mile within a couple hundred yards. Mm-hmm. 1 mile all the way down so he wouldn't get weird.
Yeah.
And we took that fence line, and it was all.
It was a pretty we're gonna have an opportunity at the biggest typical we'll probably ever have an opportunity to have.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's it's harder to do it there because you don't know. This deer don't live.
That came out of walk-in. This deer don't later.
Yeah, this deer don't live on public. He chased a girlfriend. He chased the wrong woman.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
This is a buck that. some guys chase the wrong women, and they end up hurt, broke, lost, whatever, just like the dude that did the statistics, right?
Yep.
We've all been there.
Get a bunny in the pot or your tire slack. Right. Well, he got mounted, right? He's mounted. He's got replicas of him now. What's crazy, we slid in that thing, and we got up into that little hay bale.
It was the ditch of the round bale. The round bale, It was probably a 10-year-old round bill. Had been sitting out there forever. We
Rotten.
fluffed
It's
it
rotten.
up.
Yeah, yep.
Just in a beautiful spot.
It was a walk-in
Yeah.
in Kansas.
Yep.
And
We fluffed that sucker up like it was a brand new one, just to where I could get tucked in. And what was cool is I'm an artist. I can see things how it's laid out, and I kind of got back. And this deer, he's got this doe up in this little thing, but he's getting giddy. She's wanting to go our way, and this buck started kind of peacocking her and trying to keep her from coming that way, but she wanted that way. And eventually, she's coming through, and we both knew.
You could see
that
the way he
coming.
was guarding her and everything. Like
Exactly.
Trying to cut her off and everything.
Yeah, so I just, in my mind, I'm like, I have to, let's zone in here. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to film this thing and how I'm going to be able to get him in the shot.
The shot.
And that thing, that is the sickest clip.
Yep.
And I did it exactly. I'm like, he's right there. I'm going to get right there to where he's in the frame.
I told Chancy, I said,
draw.
just stay wide. Just stay wide on the shot.
Got the draw and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was
beautiful.
one of the
It was
sexiest still frames of all time.
Yeah, easily.
And that was a cool moment.
Really
And when he did that, and obviously it didn't work out right at that moment. He ended up putting another area and later down the road. That was I knew it was a special deal. I said, this is probably one of the biggest typicals ever shot on public ground with a longbow. One of the biggest.
Just drive me
one
crazy
of the biggest typical shot with a longbow. And I was like,
that through me.
There's nobody that deserve. He's all public and all this brand that he's built up, and there's nobody that deserved him more than Jared with all the time and this drive with the public thing. Right. It was so meant to be. You look at shit that happens for a reason. Start doing the math of how that happened with the story and how it worked out for him. What he's doing. Right. That was so amazing. I was like, this is crazy special.
Well, and the big,
right here.
The big takeaway was persistence. I mean, you guys stayed with that deer for 3 days. I mean, that's what it's all about.
And we didn't see him.
I tried pulling him off. I said, dude, you're losing your mind.
The only way we're going to kill this deer, he ain't going to die. He'll live for
and it's easy to be defeated after
broken leg. It ain't a lethal hit.
Yeah, after doing that on a deer that caliber, it's easy to just lay down and die. But you guys didn't. You stuck with him, and I mean, look what came out of it.
It was unbelievable.
What a lot of people don't catch in the video, because we don't do voiceover
commentary and all that, yeah.
But if you watch close in that shot, I was right on that deer, and then at the last second I dropped my bow arm, and I always remembered we shot basketballs. Shay and I shot. We'd roll basketballs, and at the last second I was like, 9 times out of 10 you shoot behind them. And I dropped my bow arm and led him too much. You've seen that. And it don't take much. When you got a deer 20 yards out or a basketball or whatever you're shooting at, you drop that and you move that, and it's about a half inch. I moved it. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I caught it. In post, I was like, what the hell went wrong there? Like, why did I hit him in the leg?
Yep.
Like, not
it's
that
nice to have that
I'm
video
not
to
a
look
crack
back on.
shot. I would say that I'm below average, slightly below average of a trad.
Interesting.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, I am. I mean, I've missed a lot of deer on video. I've missed at least as many as I've killed. I've only lost one that I've hit, and that was that same season. I hit him high. He docked a lot or whatever. But I caught that in the video. I dropped my bow arm, and I literally remembered flashing back like when you're shooting. Like, I practice a lot. It's actually funny. With traditional gear, most guys that never shot a longbow or recurve, they're usually better or pretty damn spot on. They can hit a moving target better or very close as they can a stationary, because they don't have time to think about it with a moving target. And when I watched that video, I dropped my bow arm and let him, and I remembered that thought going through my head. I thought about it too much.
Yeah.
Yep.
But looking back on it, I was like, that built such a great story.
Yeah. It was phenomenal.
I was like, if I would have double lunged that, they would have been like, there'd have been people.
Oh, dude, it would still have been fucking awesome.
It would have been epic either
prick,
way.
arrogant.
You can't go wrong with that, dude.
It was staged.
You couldn't go wrong either way, but it is sweet the way it happened.
Right.
Like,
And he was probably 60 yards out there on their trot, and that damn near.
Yeah, that was just sailing it.
Yeah,
I love it.
just letting it fly, and I was like, But that's you don't have time to think about that when
Same-
that's going.
I did
down.
the same thing this year. Wasn't a 60-yard shot, but yeah, just to see the arrow just humming through the air. I mean, that shot was fucking.
I'm like,
beautiful.
it's going, and then you know, it's crazy.
Damn it!
Hey, you think about it too much when you got a 16-inch tube buck,
No,
bebop
yeah.
to
Oh,
the weeds,
yeah.
getting ready to come into the jungle where you're
We
hunting.
didn't know he was that big either because he was
That
a
was
real lightweight
like-
deer.
I mean,
He was
just
real
bebop
small.
it.
Dude, they're this big.
I've been coming
it was-
unglued.
12 inches is here.
That
Yeah.
deer freaked
mean,
us out
yeah.
because
I mean,
he was
it
so
was- it was a
small
mule deer
body.
buck without the split.
And
Just
usually when
enormous.
they're small body, they
Field goal.
shrink on you.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Dude, it's
Bacon.
just it's
It was
crazy,
weird.
man.
We walked up to him and it was like, holy shit.
he just kept growing.
It's
We expect him to shrink.
right.
Oh yeah.
We're trying to be
It was
realistic.
ground growthage, baby.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
They never complain about that.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
you're humble, man, and you're
Super
a pioneer in
humble.
the game, dude. Like it's even though it's technically from the industry standpoint, it's a little later in the game, but like the modern industry and what you're doing, there's nobody doing anything like it, man. You're a pioneer, whether you admit it or not, man.
Yep.
You've really
There's
paved.
still
a
I had a good
unique
buddy,
way.
the buddy of mine, Cubby, from he hunts a lot of like northern Wisconsin. He lives
Yeah.
just outside of Chicago,
Yeah,
but he loves hunting northern Wisconsin, which is about as tough as you can get. It's tough
Yeah.
hunting.
Big
And he
woods.
loves it for that reason. Like his
Yeah.
dad owns a farm in
well, that's
like
my
Illinois
problem with like
or something,
yeah,
and or Missouri or something like that.
Yeah.
And he can go down there and
yeah. I hear
do
it.
pretty well.
Well,
but he
hunting wouldn't be any
loves-
fun if it was easy, though. You know what I mean? And that's why your DVDs and videos and all that do so well, because you're doing it the most difficult way you can do it. Where, I cringe a little, and you see like the new double crossbow 2-arrow thing. That makes me cringe because it's like it doesn't need to be
I didn't
any
even know
easier.
that.
Like
That's
it's
a thing
It's
now.
it's
Yeah.
a thing now.
Well,
Double
it
arrow?
makes you wonder about the progression in the future. Like, okay, if we're here now, what's going to happen 5 years?
that's the
Star
thing.
Wars. It'll be,
But
Yeah,
you know what?
lightsaber,
There's a
lightsaber.
certain amount of people I think that'll be like rebuttal to that.
But that's
Well,
what I like.
It's
What
like
you're
the-
doing, what you're doing. You're
the
encouraging
needler.
people to go backwards. You're encouraging
Right,
people
yeah.
to go backwards.
and
in
I'm
time.
not a crack shot.
Well, this is
I'm
where,
not.
like,
you don't have
I'm
to
really
be.
Not.
You're
No, you
being
don't.
successful.
You just got to be deadly, right?
You're
here.
being successful with
Right here.
traditional equipment.
Well, this is
Yeah.
where
Paper
like
plate.
Pope and Young
Paper
gets
plate.
Pope and Young
Paper
gets a
plate.
little bit of hate
Yeah.
here because they have certain
Fitzgerald.
rules that allow their bucks in the record book and all this. But really, if you break
I
it
never
down,
entered them.
Pope and Young, whether you enter it or not, but their mission is maintain kind of the challenge and ethics in bow hunting
A level
to a
of
level.
fair chase.
And I get that. You don't have to agree with everything of their rules or guidelines or whatever you want to call them, but that's kind of like their like with technology and everything. There's got to be a line.
Yeah,
You know,
maintain a
and-
level of fair chase.
In 80 years, you got to limit it because with all the technology, you just have to.
Yep.
Right? It's what are you going to I don't know. It's going to
Yeah.
be crossbows with I don't know, thermal sensor technology that if you're off 3 inches, it senses the
heat sinking.
it senses
Heat
the
seeking,
rise in
like-
temperature
Yeah,
where the
no,
heart is and goes to the heart.
I agree 100%.
You know?
But
That's
here's
where
the
I
thing.
blamed. Yeah.
Here's the bottom line, in my opinion. Okay, that's the only deer I've scored in 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
I scored that big one I told you about earlier. The deer I shot in 06 at the double drops. He didn't add up to what I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
And I decided after that point I ain't never scoring a deer again.
See, I think
then
that's
I
awesome.
shot that big typical, and I didn't score him.
Yeah.
And then people started to get, like, on Facebook, like, remember? I
Oh, they
shot
were
that
probably
big
hounding
deer,
you.
and,
People
you know,
didn't know what he scores.
like,
They wanna
you,
know.
you had the pictures or whatever, well, they leaked. I just want to take it in for a few days. Like,
Right.
Yep.
Of course, yeah.
It's whatever.
I did. I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't.
yeah.
Let it
I
simmer.
wasn't
Let it
like
simmer.
it got out there on the internet, and
the interwebs.
yeah, and it released, and then there's all
A
these
deer photo
rumors
leaks.
going around, and
Well,
I was
yeah,
like,
when-
okay, now we have to post.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the
But
guy
I was
didn't
trying
release
to
the
take it
score.
in
What's
for a few
going on?
days, just whatever, just.
I feel you though,
relax.
Jared, with
I
the score
shot
thing,
this
man. Jared,
Deer, it's world class deer.
yeah. Well, with the
Just
score
take
thing,
it
I
all
feel you
in.
do because I didn't kill a
But-
200-inch typical this year, but I killed a good buck, a real good buck, like tight rack, tall tines with a little baby
Just feeding 'em
dropper.
to you.
And I measured him because I knew immediately. Everyone's like, "What do you measure?" So I measured him, and he measured okay, good, but
Yeah.
not. He was like 5 inches smaller than I thought he was, and then I found myself like thinking about him different.
Yeah, Yeah,
and I'm like,
you
what the
looked
fuck
at
am I
him
doing, man?
differently.
Like, yeah, so
Yeah.
I get that 100%.
Exactly.
And
Chancy.
And you know what? I didn't score that deer until people started posting about like, oh, I think this is a 170. You know, that's
Right.
he stuck him way out. And the one damn photo that when I looked at the photos that we took, I was like, we'll never post that one because it was like way the
you're
hell
long
out there.
arming it or whatever.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It leaked, and of course that's the one that got out there. And I was like, oh, damn it.
Well, I mean, I took some good pictures.
Like he's
Yeah,
a
they look
big ass
amazing.
buck. You don't
need to make
try
him look
to
any
make
bigger.
him look
Yeah.
But
bigger.
here's the thing: the people
And
that criticize
I
that
hated
don't
that.
know what deer actually look like. Because anybody that knows what deer look like goes, "That's a world class tip."
And all of a sudden, there's all these people that are like, so I was kind of like forced into it. So that's the only
Yeah.
deer I've scored since that double drop.
Well, if I long arm a 140 to
06.
make it look like a 190, people know that's a 140's long arm and it's made it look like a
Yeah,
990.
well,
If they know what
exactly.
they're looking at.
You
So
long-arming
that's-
son of a
that's-
bitch.
That's kind of why I
go gadget.
got that one picture with the longbow sitting in this rack because I was like, okay, some people understand how long a longbow
Yeah,
is
yeah.
or got a good idea. You know, that's why I did that picture.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
took all kinds of flavors to make it look good.
Right, but some people got all like,
Bunch of Kool-Aid flavors.
you know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some people are like,
People just hate to hate
oh,
too. So,
you know,
fuck 'em.
he's
thing
not
is-
as big as he real, and it's like, oh, he's a big buck, but then I got in this weird thing, and it was like
He's not
all of a
300
sudden-
typical.
It
but
was
he's,
weird, dude. All of a sudden, it was like you're an asshole if you don't get this deer scored, and I realized that I was like, I ain't scored one since that double
Yeah.
drop.
I get
that
that
was the
pressure,
deer
what you're
that
saying.
was like, I'm done scoring deer. I love chasing big deer. I love hunting big deer and everything. But who cares about the
It
number?
don't matter.
But here's
And
the
that's the only deer I've scored since.
Yeah, well,
I've
big-
never skilled like my velvet
yeah,
deer. Never scored them.
that's cool.
I'm
I
like,
think that's great, but
he didn't get enough heat to draw that in.
Right,
and
I
I'm
hear
glad
you.
he didn't. But
Right.
that was the deer where I was like, okay, I have to score it. Otherwise, you're an asshole. You're not giving respect to the animal.
yeah,
And I was like, no, I get that he's a big deer. And
Just let me
everything.
appreciate
I
him the
don't-
way he is. I don't
Yeah,
gotta put a
I
number
would have
on
never
him.
scored that damn deer
I get that.
if people didn't push it.
Well, that too is like people want to know the number, but then as soon as they hear a number on a deer, like you could have a deer with we'll just say double drops or whatever. Oh, he's 130, but he might have 2 6-inch drops, and it's like, well, 130 doesn't. And I made up this deer in my head just now. 130 doesn't. Okay, you shot a 130-inch buck. Yeah. Oh, well, here's a picture of him. Oh, damn, it's a double dropper, and he makes up most of his inches in the drops. Like, that's cool. Or, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, because the number doesn't really explain how unique the deer is.
Sorry, I realized with that deer that I told about, the railroad tracks, we walked in there, I didn't know, bumped him. We were tree stand and ground hunting back then.
Yeah.
Bumped him, hung tree stands, got a little too cold, came down. I was like, let's check this public land out. Stalked through it. I shot that up until the big typical. Not because of what he scored. It was just a really cool story. The way that was my favorite deer of all time.
Yep.
And I shot deer like the double dropper. He was my favorite deer up until that point. Well, that one took the cake. I was like,
Hey,
not because he scored higher,
Well,
because it's a really cool story.
Yeah, when you look back on
And
your
so
wall,
when
it's
I
not
look-
always the highest
so-
scoring
so
deer.
when
that
I
are
look
faded
back
memory.
at that typical, that's what made that story great. I was like, because I hit him in the damn kneecap.
Yeah.
Didn't put a good shot on him. Persistence and all that. That made that deer. I was like, I'm so glad I didn't double lung him. I looked back at it and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't double lung him. Yeah, it would have been cool and I double lunged him. But, it would have been like this,
would have been like it wouldn't have played out as intense. And I hear you.
It was a humbling moment.
I hear you, and that's good for a character for sure.
Oh, for sure.
We all need it, and it does
We
happen
all
to
need
us
it.
too.
I don't
That's the
care
thing.
how good
you're
you
gonna get
are.
it, no matter.
I don't
what
care
you do.
how good you are as a hunter.
And
the thing about filming stuff unscripted and raw is if you're a true filming unscripted and raw, you're gonna mess up.
Yeah. And then
and
you
that's
kinda
what
have
I
to
love
put it out
about
there
it.
how it happened,
Because
too.
people watch that and they're like, I've been there too.
Oh yeah.
And then when they're sitting on their couch drinking a Busch Light watching the TV, they're like, how could you do that? How did you miss that deer? How did you do that? And it's like, go crawl around out there for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll
I want to
understand.
switch.
You don't have time to pull a rangefinder out. Is he 30? Is he 35, 40? Obviously, with longbow or trad gear, you don't do that. You just go off a feel. But it's a whole different game.
Right, for sure. Hey, I want to switch gears.
Yeah.
You kill a lot of deer, and I know both of you guys have, and this question is for both of you guys. Are you guys big taxidermy guys? Like, if you go into your house right now, is there a ton of whitetail mounts? Is there a ton of fish mounts? Is there,
I got more V-notch and European than I still ain't mounted the true giant rack. I ain't.
The actual rack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Taxidermy.
Well, you got replicas
for 5.
You got replicas
6 years
though,
or whatever it is now.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I ain't had time. I got an idea of what I want to do with them, and I ain't done it yet.
Yeah.
Those are
Crazy.
replicas, like the full body.
What about you?
Replica.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I think I've got like 10 mounted, and then I got like 15 that I need to mount.
Yeah.
But I started doing Europeans.
At least.
I kind of like them. I don't really have the space.
He ain't mounted a deer since I've known him.
I haven't.
That's a true story.
Yeah, I mean, I got
Honest
these
to God
beautiful Europeans
story.
boiled out. I got them boiled out,
True,
and it's
yeah,
just time. Someday down the road, maybe I'll get them all mounted. I'll probably have to. A lot of them capes, I saved them, and something just didn't work out. I didn't have a ton of money. Deer, I was killing enough to where I'm like, this is getting expensive, and it was not a bad thing, but I'm like, I can't afford this. Yeah, it's not a bad problem.
Yeah,
but I was like, I just
Between the arrows and how much it costs to mount these deer,
my
I got no more than I do like mounting them.
Well, my priorities
get on a
were
budget here.
Yeah, my priorities were like I don't need to get it mounted. Maybe I'll get it mounted, and then all of a sudden, boom, and I'd have all all my deer, and I'm just like, wow, they're a bunch of beautiful bucks. But it's like someday down the road, I have a lot of guys that shotgun hunt, and they'll give me capes, and someday I'll be able to mount them all. But I'm like, some of them I just love how sexy they look with the Europeans.
Oh yeah,
they're beautiful, and I do mine. I don't bleach them. I do that natural boil them, spray them, and then you got them dark cracks, and they look clean. They're clean. They're not going to smell like a pile of poop in the house.
Right. There is something about like being able to pick up the rack and handle it that I like.
Dude, Tanner brought that up to me recently.
crapper
I like
tank.
what you're going with that.
Because you can. I'm a taxidermy guy. Chandler's a taxidermy guy. Doug, you guys both got a fair amount of taxidermy.
Beautiful.
But I like to see if we're in this room we're in right now, I like to see, oh man, this is my whitetail mounts. They're pretty. They're proud looking. It's honorable.
Then you can't hold them.
But you can't pick them up and be like, man, feel
exactly
that too.
what Tanner
Feel the
said.
mass on that motherfucker. You can't feel like. But if I ever kill a 170 plus like true booner, I will get a replica made. One to bring to shows, like kind of what you've done, Jared. But and be like, check that out. Like, let's talk, and you can feel it, and it's just a cool thing.
It's a cool deal.
It's a conversation
It's fun.
piece. Yeah,
I got my one I shot last year laying by the fire. I always
Dude,
the buck
I
you
didn't
shoot,
even-
I always have that thing bedded up.
I look at the pictures. I crashed at Jess's place. You were down in Texas or whatever. I crashed there a few weeks ago, and I hadn't seen the deer. I seen the pictures on Instagram. Mandy posted them. And all of a sudden I was like, what's that chocolate rack? I got to think for chocolate rack. Box.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What the hell is
I will
that?
show you
York is
that
that fireplace.
Yeah.
I mean, he shot a ton of big deer, but I seen that chocolate rack and I didn't recognize it. And I'm getting closer, and I'm like, holy shit, that's the one he shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you told me it was a 165, 170, and I walk up, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a deer he shot this year. That's a big-ass deer.
Yeah.
Like, there ain't no
pretty,
photo
man.
tricks.
It's
He
cool.
grew on me when I grabbed him.
No,
I
he's
was
ground.
like,
He ground
these
growth.
photos
Ground growth is
Beautiful buck. I mean, I was happy. It turned me on. He turned me on.
I was like, this deer's bigger than any
Some
of
deer
those
you just have
photos
to handle
looked,
to really
you know?
appreciate them.
Yeah. I would
And like you
say
say,
most
color.
deer
Chances-
you have to handle to
And I
appreciate
will say
them.
this:
right.
Chancy's an Iowa boy, so usually Iowa boys, in my experience, they're pretty good with the trick photography thing.
Hey.
I don't know which one he is all Iowa,
Chancy,
but Iowa boys are real good
Iowa
with that.
boys.
They're
artists
real
over
good
here.
with it. They're real good with the photography.
Got to play the game.
Hey, leave the Illinois boys out of this. I'm just saying that.
They kill big ass deer in Iowa, obviously, but I walked up to that thing and I was like,
I don't lie
that
about
bitch
this.
is bigger than what he looks on the pictures.
Yeah.
He was a
was.
beautiful buck. It's
Yeah.
going to be a cool video to watch.
Jared,
Some things didn't work out the way they wanted. But.
If you want a chocolate rack, I shot an 8.5-year-old in 2015.
He's cool.
Did ya?
Wow,
He's
beautiful.
real cool.
That's an old buck. That's old
buck.
geezer out there.
8.5-year-old, that's
coming out.
He's blind as hell. Eric just walked up and shot him. Probably.
Oh yeah,
He's in a walker.
blind.
I shot eye. I shot a blind buck one time. Well, he was blind in both eyes. He had
That
one
was a
eye, but
tough
I worked.
season. That
He was
was
blind on the
tough
right, and I worked
season.
him on the right.
Hey,
I
you
bet-
can get, man.
I didn't know mine was blind until I looked at the pictures, and you can tell the one eye is just totally glazed over.
You ever see like a wiener dog that's in one of those little wheelchairs with the wheels in the back? That buck was in one of them.
Chancy said, "I'll
You ain't
take a
wrong.
wheelchair,
You ain't
buck."
Hey, I've been screwed by enough big bucks. I need one wheelchair dog.
Dude, that's what you literally said in the video.
He had a broken-
Really?
He was blind.
Yes, you're like,
Doug's
you ain't
the only
never
one who found
watched
that really
Surprise.
funny.
Oh yeah, it's
I thought it
hilarious.
was amazing.
You literally said, I'll take a wheelchair, buck. Is what you
Well,
said.
yeah, I've been screwed by enough big bucks. You know,
Yeah.
maybe 1 out of 50, you can get an easy one.
Well,
Man.
fellas, here's what I want to do. This has been awesome, and we don't have to close it out, but we got beer to drink, and we got people waiting on us here.
And there's probably some blondies out
There's
there.
probably a couple out there.
Don't you be Jim?
There ain't no women
you're,
here.
You're tied up.
There is no women here.
We're
For
all
the-
in trouble
for
now.
the record. Can you guys?
the
We'll
record.
close with this. Pick, and this might be tough, but I'm gonna do it anyway. One thing that someone might not know about you from what they see from Whitetail Adrenaline or from here, listen to podcasts or whatever it may be, and we'll close with that.
Let
You go first.
No, you first.
That knows about me.
I'm a Pisces.
I'm a Gemini.
I have worked for myself my whole life. I've dabbled when I was younger and kind of did a little restaurant work and did a little conservation. But I'm an entrepreneur, and everything I've done on my own.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we both are. We are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And I don't like to work for nobody. I don't work for Jared. I do this because I love to be here.
he don't work
Okay,
for
he
me,
don't
I
pay me.
promise
You
you
know,
that.
he
No,
bought me
Jesus.
he bought me my bow. I love that. And he treats me very well, and we're friends. We do this because we're friendship.
Yeah, yeah.
I am an entrepreneur, and I love making things happen on my own, and that gives me the freedom to do what I love to do.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate, and everything that I've got to do in my life is because of my artwork. That was my end. That's how I met Jared. That's how I've got to do everything in my life and meet a lot of really
you met her
amazing
'cause of
people.
the blonde, but
Well, yeah, whatever about the blonde.
Artwork got him there.
But realistically, we would have been friends anyway. I mean, I forgot about the blonde. But I'm telling you, that gave me my end in my life to be able to get to do a lot of the thing. A lot of people are like, God damn, he's running around wild.
Goddamn.
It's been my end.
Yeah, right.
It's been my end. My artwork has gave me that thing that gave me to be able to make a lot of friends and stuff. Who's this kid?
Yeah.
Oh, he's an artist. Oh, and it's pretty cool, man. I'm
Carlos.
very blessed with
Carlos.
my right hand to be able to paint. My dad was an artist. He passed last July, and I got that art talent from him. And I've been very
Dirty
fortunate.
Harry. He painted the
blessed.
boat for Miami Vice.
He did. So
Oh,
yeah,
Harry.
that's something about me.
That's cool, man.
That's me, and I'm always gonna work for myself, and you know,
That's
I'm
awesome.
just trying to chase my dream.
That's awesome.
Barely get
Decided
by
years
some-
ago. I ain't working for
Sorry to hear about
nobody
your old
else.
man. But
No, he's a great man.
That's great.
He's here with us right now. He's
He's
like
drinking
this.
some beers.
Yeah,
Dirty
Blackberry
Harry.
brandy. Blackberry
Dirty
brandy.
Harry was the rascal. That guy.
He's a rascal.
Good guy.
Jared, what's something that nobody would
mean-
know about you from watching the show or listening to podcasts or wherever they can find you?
Give me on vodka.
Not a good
Yeah.
mix. Huh? All right, don't get Jared on vodka.
Don't get me on vodka.
He don't sleep.
Yeah.
Well, in the night. No, I'm not. I'm a night owl. I don't get up to alarm clocks. Don't believe in that. I don't even set them anymore because I'll just sleep through them.
It happened this
And-
morning.
Yeah.
I did that this morning too.
A lot of guys, they're like setting their alarm clocks and getting out there before the deer are moving and all that. And I just accepted it a long time ago because I realized, like, I'm not a morning person. So I'll get out there a lot of times. Sun's already up, whatever, and the hunters are coming out. and you're just sitting back watching deer, and they bebop. Deer move, and they do that, and you're more of a morning person.
No, I don't like mornings.
You like mornings.
I make myself get up. I don't like
Dude,
mornings.
I brought the loudest alarm clock.
Entrepreneur, not a morning person.
If I was if you can hunt deer legally or deer's, I've hunted some elk, but if you could hunt deer at night, I'd be damn good. Not because you can hunt them at night, but because I'm a night owl.
Yep. Right, that's where your brain's moving.
Give me a flashlight. Let me shine in your eye.
I can stay up all night, no problem. Go in tomorrow, work the show.
Zombie.
Whatever. But you try waking me up once I'm down, good luck. My sister, Danae, she used to throw DVDs at me. I'd tell her, I was like, all right, wake me up. I got to edit.
Yeah.
And she'd throw DVDs literally at my head.
Just to get you rocking, huh?
Yeah. Till I woke up. So, loudest alarm clock that you could find on the World Wide Web would not wake me up. I could sleep through that for 2-3 hours.
Well, there's people like that, man. There's people third shift. There's guys that love that.
We've been drinking
the midnight oil
all night.
Yeah.
But I mean, sober. I talked to the doctor about it. I got a problem, all right? I can't wake up normal. And I'm like,
well, that's why you're an entrepreneur, though, because
he's like, no, you just sleep deep, and I'm like, no, it's a problem. I bought the loudest alarm clock you can get in the World Wide Web, and I'll sleep
World Wide
right
Web.
through that son of.
Well, I get what you're saying, though, Jared. Because I think naturally, if I just could do my own schedule all the time without a day job, I would tick overnight. But I've just done this forced get up and go work for somebody.
I can't do it
since I was a teenager. That it's just. I hate getting up, but I'm just in the cycle. But
that's great. Don't give that up.
When things evolve and cycle, though, I will probably be the guy that hangs with the fam. They go to bed, and then I'm working on podcast editing and business work until morning. And once I get everybody off on their way, then I'd probably sleep during the day and then wake up and start my cycle again. But it's cool, man. But this has been a hell of a lot of fun.
That's been a blast.
I appreciate the hell out of you guys.
Hey, we got more to talk about. We'll have to do another one some other time.
We got it.
Part 2. You're down in our neck of the woods with mutual friends and everything. Yep. Jared, we'll get you on again, man. Another show. We'll get together. We got to get you down to the studio.
Yeah.
And that would be a riot.
Where's it at exactly?
New Windsor, Illinois is the town.
Oh, shit.
But
we might get up in there.
It's 45 minutes of where Austin and his boys are.
Yeah, okay.
So, not far.
You're within an hour where
we'll make her happen, boys. We'll make her happen.
Easy. We'll get it done for sure.
I'll bring a couple halibut steaks. We'll make some shit.
Shit.
Talking my language.
Get Joseph to
I ain't scared.
take us there and
We can fly in there.
Well, cool, boys.
Yep.
Appreciate it, man. It was fun.
Absolutely.
And we always close out every show. I mean, Jared, you know what to do. Go shoot your bow. We love you. Boom.